All right, everybody, we are in the XFL North. The pressure is on right now. St. Louis 3-2, Vegas 1-4. This feels like a must-win game, especially after Seattle won earlier today against the Guardians to improve to 4-2. It is getting awfully contested in the North. Only two teams can make it in the North. You have DC undefeated, Seattle 4-2, winning 4 straight, putting the pressure on both these teams to get something out of this one. Otherwise, they're in some trouble. Vegas, their season can pretty much end if they lose this one. St. Louis, they lose this one. It gets very, very dicey with the second half of their schedule coming up. But with that being said, welcome everybody to JG9 Live. My name is Joe Gear, and I thank you guys for tuning in. For the second stream today, we streamed the Orlando game and the Orlando against Seattle game earlier today. Crazy, crazy game. Some really terrible play calls at the very end. Terrell Buckley, you can see why no one really likes him as head coach. But we have game number 2 today. St. Louis against Vegas, taking place at Cashman Field. Tomorrow you have San Antonio against Arlington. We'll stream that one tomorrow night. And Monday night's the big kahuna of the week. It is DC. It is Houston. The top 2 teams in the XFL square off for the first time. You made the last stream. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But with that being said, if you have any questions about anything, I'll just fire away in the chat. I'll be happy to answer. If you want to have your question moved to the front of the queue, we have donations. Otherwise, I'm just going to go in the order that I see them. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. If you were here last stream as well, thank you for tuning in for 6 hours of XFL football. Week 6, game number 2 this week. We'll be live streaming all 4 games. Also, on top of that, we should have a JG9 video. We will have a JG9 video coming out tomorrow. That is not an issue. We will have a JG9 video coming out tomorrow. Again, apologies I couldn't get one out yesterday. Had a lot of real world stuff going on that took exciting real world stuff, but real world stuff that took a while to get underway. It took way longer than I thought it would, and then I just kind of crashed afterwards because it was such a long day. But we do have a JG9 video coming out tomorrow. Hopefully a JG7 video as well. We'll see. We will see, but we do have some videos in the works, some exciting stuff. So let's see the question. So my women's bracket is now dead after Notre Dame got whacked in the second half. I mean, I had South Carolina winning in all of my bracket, but some crazy results. UConn. I mean, UConn was not as good this season as they have been. I had Ohio State winning that game, but 20 turnovers in the first half? Like, come on. That's crazy. To go from, and greetings, Brother Chart. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. But St. Louis is football city. Such a shame they were removed. Completely agree. Completely agree. I mean, LA deserved the team. I think the way the Rams got ripped out of LA was wrong, but St. Louis, their fans, should not have had to gone through that. To go from 36,000 people at the game to 6,000 people at the game, such a different atmosphere for St. Louis. It will be. Although I did hear a rumor that said there are going to be more fans. We have a $20 from Weather Chart. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that. With the weather report, hang on, let me put your name in there. Before I read this. Thank you so much. $20 from Weather Chart. Thank you so much. Really means a lot to me. Thank you for tuning in again. Weather report for Vegas. Here we go. Chilly with moderate winds. All right, so we'll see what the crowd's like with that. 54 degrees with winds north to north-northwest to east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Weather should not play a factor. Yeah, a bit chilly, but you know what? It's better than a lot of games have been in Vegas between downpour and torrential rain, torrential wind. This is actually a pretty normal game, it seems like. I have St. Louis winning and keeping their run alive. Thanks again for streaming JG9. You are so welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. This one should be good. I mean, I have not been sold on St. Louis. I have not been sold, despite their record. You guys know that if you've been on stream before. I'm not sold on McCown. I'm not sold on that offense whatsoever. I think Vegas is more talent than what they've shown with their 1-4 record. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a good game. If I had to bet, I would say Vegas, but we'll see. I would say Vegas wins a nail-biter if I had to bet. But thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for the $20. Really, really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Do you think Caleb Williams going back-to-back Heismans? I don't see why not. I don't see why not. It's going to be an uphill climb because obviously winning the second's harder than winning the first. There's usually some bias against that, no matter how good your second season is. Once you win a Heisman, it's very tough to win it again. But I don't see why not. I don't see why not. If Williams plays the way that he did last year, I could see it, absolutely. Who won the Hopkins sweepstakes? I said last week on, I think I said during trivia. I think that was what it was. Someone asked that question. I said the Chiefs. I'm still going to go with the Chiefs. I'm going to go KC. Why not? Is it fair to call the 2022 World Cup the best in terms of on-field play and the worst in terms of off-field controversy? I would probably say so. But I will say, during the World Cup itself, there weren't a whole lot of controversies. A lot of stuff was before the World Cup, but there weren't a whole lot controversies during the World Cup. 2010 was pretty bad with controversies in terms of refereeing, but I would say that's fair. Yeah, to be fair, Rams never should have left LA in the first place. I completely agree with that. I completely agree. Is Matt Ryan done in the NFL? Depends on what he wants. If he's fine taking a backup role, I think there's a spot for him. If his days as a starter are numbered, though. His days as a starter, he has not been the same quarterback the last 2 years. He has no ability whatsoever. His arm strength is dead. He did nothing last year. I think as a starter, his days are done. Who do I think will make the top 10 of the top 100 in August? All right. Let me think about this. Let me think how I want to do this. Let me think. Because this is tough. So a lot can change. Well, not really a lot can change. They voted during the season, but a lot can happen. This is an unscientific, very, very unscientific method. Well, Mahomes is going to make it. We all know that. Mahomes is making it. I think... I'm just writing down who I think could. Who do I want to put on there? Do I go with that? Do I go with that? Do I go with that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, that's 8 names. Then who else do I put on? Who else do I put on after that? I'm trying to think who do I put on? Who do I put on the top 100? Who I think the final 2 they want to put on. It's gonna be no particular order, but do that. All right. Here's my guess. It's not great. It's not great. Here's my guess, in no particular order on the top 10. Again, remember, these are voted on by the players. So I'm trying to think like the players would, which means you lean a lot toward quarterbacks. You don't lean toward offensive line or defensive line a whole lot unless it's a pass rusher. So here's my predictions for top 10. I could be dead wrong on this, but again, this is the way I'm predicting it. No particular order outside of Mahomes at 1. So I think you're going to have Mahomes, you're going to have Bosa, you're going to have Parsons, you're going to have Sauce, you're going to have Jefferson, Hurts, Allen, Burrow, Kelsey, McCaffrey. That's my guess. Vita Vea will not make top 10. Vita Vea, great player, he will not make top 10. Remember, the players vote on this, and the players usually lean toward skill positions and quarterbacks. They don't show a lot of love to specialists. They don't show a lot of love to interior defensive linemen. They don't show a lot of love to offensive linemen. It's mainly the guys putting up stats. So I'm going to guess Mahomes, Bosa, Parson, Gardner, Jefferson, Hurts, Allen, Burrow, Kelsey, McCaffrey. No Herbert. No Herbert. He'll be top 20. I don't think he's going to be top 10. Again, I could be dead wrong on this. This is just how I think the players are going to vote. This is not how I would vote, by the way. This is not at all how I would vote. But this is how I think the players are going to vote. This is how I think the players are going to vote. Vita Vea is probably going to be top 50. I've never went to a live screening of the room when Tommy was there. No, I've never seen a live screening of the room. I've never done that. But I'm sure that's quite the experience. Who's winning the World Series this year, and why is it the Miami Marlins? Because a meteor hit about 29 other teams. That's why. If the Raiders stayed in LA, do you think the Chargers would have gone to the NFC? If the Raiders stayed in LA. Well, the Chargers in San Diego? We're assuming that they stay in San Diego at that point. The Chargers would have... Chargers would stay in the AFC. They would stay in the AFC. Thoughts on DJ mocking Hooker to the Vikings at 23? As a Vikings fan, I hate it. I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit. I'm not crazy about drafting a QB at 23 from the Vikings. Not crazy about that, especially Hooker. His dropback rate is really, really, really bad. I really like your NFL videos. They're really well done. I enjoy them a lot. Thank you so much, Blackfin. Thank you so much. Really means a lot to me. If Eli stays with the Chargers, who's the Giants QB? Rivers. How old are you? I'm guessing 23, 25. You're not far off. 25. Yeah, if Eli stays with the Chargers, then Rivers is their QB. Yeah, the final spot was tough. I was thinking Adams. I was thinking Diggs. I was thinking A.J. Brown. I was thinking McCaffrey. I was thinking a lot of different guys. McCaffrey's the one that I'm off on. You probably put all Jags players. There'd be no Jags players in my top 10. There'd be no Jags players whatsoever. None at all. Back in the day, domes were in vogue, and with the premise of shiny new toy versus sharing it all the same with the Angels, made sense for the Rams to relocate. Yeah, I mean, Angels Stadium was never built for football, even with the reconfigurations. It was never a good venue for football. Right, Luis Perez is going to be the quarterback for the Vipers. Got the job back. 3 touchdown passes last week against the Guardians in his last game. And then you see A.J. McCarron on your screen. Comes up big in the clutch, but the first 3 quarters have not been pretty for him for the most part. It'll be a very interesting game. Again, it seems like a must-win for both teams. Seems like a must-win for both of these teams. Vegas, if they lose, their season's pretty much done at 1-5 in that division. They've got no shot. Seattle put the pressure on them this week. And then St. Louis, obviously win this game, you stay tied for that second spot. Lose this game, and who knows what happens. Lose this game, you're on a bit of a cold streak. You've lost 3 out of 4. You fall behind the Sea Dragons. It's very, very interesting. Quiet night for Vegas, Gonzaga, UConn, and T-Mobile. Night 2 of Taylor Swift. Yes. Oh, I'm so jealous. I wish I could go back. I wish I could see just every concert on that tour. It was that good. Seriously, it was that good. If you get a chance to see Taylor Swift, by all means, go for it. It was the best tour I've ever seen in my life. I'm not even that big of a Swiftie, but it was that good. It was that good. Yeah, FAU case, I have that on my second monitor right now. 45 seconds left in the first half. 40-36 FAU. Again, I think FAU was massively underseeded. They were 13th in the net. In fact, they got a 6. They should have been a 6 seed, really. A 9 seed was ridiculous to them. 9 seed was ridiculous. Turning 26 in August. So, still got some time. It's coming up quick. I feel like I was just in college the other day. Now I'm in the second half of my 20s. Scary stuff. St. Louis loses on Sea Dragons passive. That is pretty funny. Did not think that at the start of the season. Do the Hawks stay in St. Louis if Bill Russell played for them? I think it would have helped. If Bill Russell played for them. They would have gotten people there. And then again, St. Louis, I don't know what the intricacies of the situation in terms of segregation and whatnot, because I know the Cardinals are one of the last teams to integrate. So I don't know. It's an interesting question. I'm not sure I have a good answer to that. What if D-Hop doesn't catch the Hail Murray? I don't think anything changes. I don't think it changes history whatsoever. The Cardinals still make the playoffs that year. Kingsbury still keeps his job. Oh no, that was 2020. My bad. My bad. Yeah, I don't think anything changes. Murray still gets the contract. And that is not a good crowd in Vegas whatsoever. I'm guessing about 5,000. They'll probably say 6,000 there because that's usually what they say for Vegas when it looks like that. That is not good at all. Remember, that stadium only holds about 8K. Vegas is done after this year. Who will win the XFL MVP? But yeah, with the Hail Murray, I don't think anything changes. Nothing with the Bills. Nothing with the Cardinals. XFL MVP. Man, that's tough. That is tough right now. There's no one really running away from this. There's no one really running away from the competition. I would say Silvers is probably my bet right now, but that's tough. I don't know. Silvers probably has the lead. So I would say Silvers is probably the best option for that. That's close. I like what the St. Louis coach said, have a little swag in it. Even if you can make sports center top 10, the ball's in your way, make a play. I like that. Ball's in your way, make a play. I love that. What day in August? The very first one. The very first one. All right, here we go. St. Louis fielding the kickoff in their own end zone, and we are underway just like that. Not a chance in the world he's getting anything out of that. Darius Shepard getting blown up at the 16-yard line, which is where AJ McCarron and company will start off. Again, as a reminder, 3 boxes on the bottom of the red, they indicate the timeouts. The 1 blue box is the challenge box. You get 1 challenge per game. You can challenge anything you want. And again, as a reminder, no one has said it, which is shocking. But I'm legally not allowed to stream this game. I'm legally not allowed to show this game. If you are expecting a broadcast of this game is on FX. Again, I'm legally not allowed to show this game. This is just live commentary. And we're talking about the game and whatever you guys want as it happens. Drop pass there. Akeem Butler. The Butler did not do it there. Wide open slant route. Can't fault McCarron for that one. Would have been easy first down. Akeem Butler, 4th in the XFL this year in receptions. But one of the easiest catches he will ever have, and he just dropped it. Yeah, this year again, Akeem Butler, 4th. Tied for 3rd, actually, with Blake Jackson. But Jackson has a game in hand because he played earlier today. Cody Latmer, Ja'Cory Pearson, the only 2 players above Butler. 2nd 10, McCarron, dropping back, firing deep to the near sideline, and overthrows his man. Incomplete. Darius Shepard, the intended target on the play, but that was off by a solid 15 yards. Again, there is some wind in this one, as weather chart said earlier, so it's going to be tough, relatively speaking, to throw the ball deep down the field. But Shepard blown up on the kickoff, and then way off on that play. I love this league. So do I. So do I. Yeah, only FAU's second term appearance. Never. It's odd. It's odd. Second term appearance, you're doing this. This is amazing. I love it. I love it. I love when mid-majors and low-majors go runs like this. McCarron gets the snap off with 1 second left. 3rd and 10. They're sending the pressure. Dumps it off, and it is caught. 30. Out of bounds at the, or not out of bounds, but there was a flag on the play. It's a slant route. If this stands, it's going to be a first down catch there by Austin Prohl, the son of Ricky Prohl, the former Rams and Panthers this year. We'll see what this flag is. Holding on the offense. So we're going to redo this. It will look like Dallas Warmack is getting called. Or 75. I thought his. I cannot read lips. I'm not John Boy. I thought it said 55. It's 75. Jared Jones-Smith. So back him up. Should be half a distance to the goal. So 3rd and 19 at the 9-yard line. Playoff going to 12 teams soon instead of 4. Does that mean Oregon will never again blow their chances at a playoff push? Never underestimate the odds. Do not underestimate the odds. My guess is that the Pac-12 champion goes, and everyone else, I'm not sure they're getting it in. So they could easily do it. 3rd and 19. They have 4 wide. We'll see if they just go draw play here. They do. They're just going to play it safe. Give it on the draw play. Gain of about 3. It's to Brian Hill. And they're going to punt this one away. So a 3 and out for the Battlehawks. Not how they want to start this one off. Never really got anything going there. Looked all out of sync. Sloppy. No blocking on the kickoff return. Then a holding penalty. A drop pass. A misfire by a solid 20 yards. Just not how the Battlehawks want to start this one. So 4th and 16 ball, the 12-yard line. They're going to punt this one away to Vegas. We'll see what the Vipers can do with their first possession. That is a short punt. No hang time at all. Favorable bounce, though. Favorable bounce. So St. Louis does catch a bit of a break. Vegas is going to take over at their own 44-yard line. As Luis Perez lost his starting job earlier in the season, but got it back and had a great game last time out against Orlando. We'll see what happens here. What sport is best adapted for split season? In my opinion, it's baseball. It's baseball. It's baseball. It's easily baseball. I mean, we see it in the minor leagues. It's easily baseball. At least you're not getting kidney stones. Oh, already that's how I knew 26 would be rough. Yeah, I've been very fortunate. No kidney stones. I drink a lot, though. I make sure to stay hydrated. That's the number one thing. So 43-yard line when they're going to take off. Perez fires over the middle. It is caught. Short gain on the play. Catch there made by Sean Price. It's a gain of 3. Yeah, I've never gotten a kidney stone, but I've been very, very fortunate in that regard. But then again, I just make sure I stay hydrated. I make sure to stay hydrated. That's the number one thing. Saints for Hard Knocks. I'm not sure Dennis Allen will be that good on Hard Knocks. I don't know what team's going to get Hard Knocks. But Jeff Badette makes the grab at the line of scrimmage, so no gain there. 3rd and 7, ball at the 46-yard line. You predict 6,669 for the attendance. Very nice, very evil. When does it start? It's on right now on FX. So on FX. Just started 3rd and 8. Ball at the 45-yard line. 11:48 left, so we just started this game. Empty backfield. You got 5 wide. Perez drops back. The Russian 4 fires. It is caught. It's short of the sticks. It's going to be 4th and 2. It is Sweeting on that catch. Gain of about 6. 4th and 2. You got to figure they are going for it. You're near midfield. It's 4th and 2. A punt that goes into the end zone gets it to the 35-yard line. It's not really worth it. And now they're going to say 4th and 3. Okay, that might change things. We'll see. Does Rod Woodson leave the offense out there? He does not. Because I thought it was going to be 4th and 2. Instead, they mark it 4th and 3. So that actually changes things. So back there to punt. Although I don't know in that situation why you wouldn't line up to go for it and then just try and catch him offside. Worst case scenario, take a 5-yard penalty. But it is fielded at the 15-yard line and brought down at the 17-yard line. So good coverage there. Austin Prohl on the return. And there was a flag on the play. Flag came in the area of the tackle. Was there a face mask? Was there a face mask on the play? No, the referee is indicating that there is holding. Looks like this one is coming back. So the ball was marked at around the 17, 18-yard line. There is holding. Push it back half the distance to the goal. Push it back to the 9. We'll see what this penalty is. But it looked like the referee indicated holding. It is holding. Holding on Brandon Sebastian. The second time today that the Battlehawks have been called for holding. A lot of dirty laundry out there right now. What happens if the DeMar Hamlin situation doesn't happen? Who wins the game between the Bengals and the Bills? I think the Bengals. They were on another level the first 10 minutes of that one. I don't know how Buffalo's offense. I don't know how Buffalo's defense was stopping them. I don't know how. I don't know how they were stopping them. How they impacted the playoffs and Super Bowl? I don't think it would have made a difference. I don't think it would have made any difference. You should make that a shirt. You can get a little money off of that. I don't know what's saying to make a shirt off of. You put a disclaimer on your screen about not showing the game. I would assume people would be able to tell. I'm assuming people would be able, once they see this screen, they would be able to tell. Hey JG9, what's your opinion on Borussia Dortmund? I don't really have any strong opinions on Dortmund right now. I don't really have any. I'm shocked, I guess, if they lost to Chelsea in the Champions League, because Chelsea under Potter has been a mess. I'm shocked they lost to them on aggregate, but other than that, I don't really have any strong opinions one way or the other on Dortmund. Why do you think it's taking a while for Olivia Rodrigo to release new music? That's a good question. I mean, it's not really a while. Her album came out, 2 years ago? Yeah, it came out 2 years ago, so it's not really a while. I think she just had an extensive touring cycle and probably just waiting. Probably waiting for the right time. We'll see her dropping some in the summer. We'll see. Are the Sixers finals contenders? Not with Doc Rivers as head coach. Not with Doc as the head coach. I don't know about that. XFL MVP candidate is AJ McCarron. I could see that. Let a 12-point comeback game-winning drive, listening to a victory in St. Louis after more than 1,000 days. St. Louis would not be the same without him. Yeah, but I'm just not sold on McCarron. I'm not. There's nothing that he's done outside of that comeback that's wowed me. He's been very good in the fourth quarter, but the first 3 quarters, not great. Who do you think will win the College World Series this season? Florida looks awfully good right now. Florida looks pretty good. I don't know if they're going to win it, but they're an option. I will say, there is one team that do not sleep on to make a run. I'm not saying they're going to win it all. Remember how Coastal from the Big South did in 2016? Campbell is not a bad pick right now. Honestly, Campbell, their final season in the Big South before they go to the Colonial, not a bad Watch out for them. They might make a super regional. What will the MLB postseason World Series logo look like for 2023? I mean, they have a pretty similar template for most years. I think it's going to be very similar to that. Thoughts on Brady being part of the Vegas Aces ownership? Good for him. I mean, I said it earlier. It's not going to make a difference, move the needle in terms of getting fans, but good for him. The Vegas Aces are a very well-run organization. They built essentially a super team. Becky Hammon's phenomenal head coach. Should be an NBA head coach. Absolutely phenomenal. Aces are going to be very, very tough to beat this year, especially since the season, I think, it's expanded this year to 40 games. I think they expanded the season this year, which is good to see. They're going to be a tough out. A very, very tough out. Handoff up the middle gets about 1, so 2nd and 9. Do I see any of these coordinators in the XFL going to the NFL? Probably not. As like coordinators, no. No, probably not. Kidney stone and food poisoning are one of the only times in life you'll wish for death. Is Rick Maurer the best Seahawks QB ever? Number 3. I can't think of any others. So, 2nd and 8. Short pass, incomplete. Good coverage on the play. Intended for Hakeem Butler. And that's the 2nd time for Butler that the ball has been in and out of his hands. Granted, that one was a lot harder to make than the first one, but a bit of a rough start for Butler. And a rough start for the Battlehawks. They're out of sorts, out of sync right now. I was saying, if I can't legally show this game, that's what you should put on a shirt. Like, if people want to buy it, I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to turn down money. That's one of the things about it. I will never turn down money. You give me money, I will do just about anything. So, you want to buy that shirt? By all means, I will put that on the store right now. McCarron, 3rd and 8. Drops back, fires, but way short of the sticks. It looked for a second like Brian Hill was going to have some room, but good closing speed, and he is down in some pain. Gain of about 5 on the play. So another 3 and out for the Battlehawks. Back-to-back 3 and outs. He was down at first. Did he get back up? The clock is running, so I'm assuming he did get back up. But he was slow to his feet. I wish Boston had an XFL team. Why? They would be terrible. They would get no support. You're playing in a city that has so many other different sports teams. You'd probably be playing in Gillette, which is in the suburbs, which would be a nightmare for attendance. It'd be cold weather. Boston is probably the worst market you could put an XFL team in. One of the worst markets. It would fail miserably. There's a reason every minor league football team in Boston failed. On his fielded 30 and down at the 32-yard line. Return on the play there by Matthew Sexton. Vegas going to start this one off at their own 32-yard line. And yeah, they are. Brian Hill is in the tent right now. Brian Hill is in the tent. Yeah, Boston's XFL team, it would not be good. I haven't seen the Dylan Does Basketball video on the Rivers. I've not seen that. I do know I have a bunch of friends from Philly, and they do not like Rivers. They do not like Rivers at all. 1st and 10, ball at the 32-yard line. Bit of a slow start. No first downs for either side in this one. We'll see if Perez and company can lead him here. Did anyone just see it with the referee? The referee that had the first down, he was very slow to get there. He was sprinting to his spot. I thought they were going to blow that play dead because he was not in position. He was sprinting to get down there. 2nd and 6 after that. Please tell me I was not the only one to see that. That referee that was responsible for holding the first down line, the first down side, he was just sprinting. All right, 2nd and 6. Perez hands it off up the middle, and a nice tackle there. I thought there was a hole. Bit slow to hit the hole. Mike Rose with the tackle. Giving the running back there a kiss from Rose. Makes his presence known. 3rd and 5. I thought there was going to be way more on that play, but very, very slow to hit the hole. 3rd and 5. Ball at the 37-yard line. Will this be the first down of the game? Let's see. Perez drops back. There's pressure. He's going to take off, and he is going to run, but he is going to be just short of the first down. Just short of the first down. Pick up a 4. 4th and 1. We'll see what they do here. You could just call a QB sneak here, fall forward. Pressure forced on the play on the Battlehawks by number 56, Travis Feeney. Perez recognizes the pressure, steps up and scrambles. 56 on 56. And a whole bunch of Battlehawks coming on the tackle. It looked like the predominant one was LaCale London, number 96. 4th and 1. They are going to punt this one away. And that one nearly blocked. Was there running into the punter? He did go down. Carrizosa went down. We'll see what they rule, if they rule anything. If it stands, 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line for St. Louis, but I did see Carrizosa go down. He did go down on the play. Doesn't matter if it's running or roughing it, but it is actually a penalty on Vegas, illegal formation. So I guess tack on 5 yards from the end of the punt, so I guess St. Louis is going to take over their own 39-yard line. Carrizosa did go down, but they did not call a penalty. Saw a block punt earlier today in the Seattle game. All right, no first down so far. A bit of a very low-scoring affair to start off. Who do you think will be the 1 seed in next year's playoffs? I would go... I don't know who San Francisco's starting quarterback is going to be, because I'm not sold on Lance at all. I mean, Chiefs, I see no reason to bet against the Chiefs. They've done for the last half decade. So I'd say the Chiefs in the AFC. And NFC, I don't know who San Francisco's quarterback is going to be. I'm not sold on the Cowboys. I'm not sold on Dak Prescott. There's too many picks. Vikings are going to crash back down to earth. Played way too many one-possession games. I can't do the Lions. I can't have them as the 1. I think if they win the North, I can't have them as the 1. And obviously no one in the South is going to do it. The South is terrible. Who do I have as the 1? I don't want to go Eagles again. I don't want to go Eagles. So they did lose some pieces. I'll just say the Niners. If the WNBA reach NBA levels of popularity, they need a hyper-expansive win where NBA team have a WNBA equivalent. Yeah, if that happens. Once Pop retires from the Spurs, Hammond will likely be in the running. I could see that. Hammond's proven herself everywhere she's been. Jacksonville XFL team, should there be? I think Jacksonville will be a great spot, honestly. They don't have any major sports teams besides the Jags. They support every sports team they have really well. You look at the WFL, they were consistently near the top in attendance. USFL, they were consistently near the top. You look at ECHL, they support their team really well. Jumbo Shrimp consistently have great attendance to the point where they're now a AAA organization after being a AA organization. The Sharks are consistently near the top in attendance in arena football, whatever league they play in. I think Jacksonville is a great market. I really do. When do I see Taylor Swift having another Taylor's version release? Probably Speak Now is going to be next. And I would guess by the end of her tour. I would guess by the end of her tour she's going to do it. Very defensive battle, yeah. Over under 2 people asking to show the game. So far we're at 0, so I'll take it. Idaho Fights song Taylor's version. She needs to do a concert at the KB Dome. If I ever become big for whatever reason, I will do a concert at the KB Dome. If I ever go on a stadium tour, for whatever reason, I will do the KB Dome. Hard to imagine that Messi and Ronaldo are the only ones that have a larger Instagram following than Selena Gomez. Yeah, I never would have thought Selena would be number 3. Never would have thought that. Will Watson ever live up to the contract he got? No. Fully guaranteed $250 million? No way. When do I see San Fran hosting the NBA All-Star Game? I'd say within the next 5 years. They have a new arena and all that. I could see it. How much of a drop-off will the Eagles have next season? They'll have a bit of a drop-off. I still think they win that division because I'm not sold on the Giants at all. I think Daniel Jones is not good whatsoever. Washington, I'm not crazy about, although they do have the enemy now calling the plays. And Dallas, I think they're going to regress. I'm not sold on McCarthy. I don't like Prescott. But I don't think they're going to... I think they lost too many pieces. Second down at the 40-yard line. So 2nd and 8, ball at the 40. No first downs yet in this one. 6:21 to play in the first quarter. Going to be a handoff up the middle. And finally a first down. Gain of about 9 on the run. It's Mateo Durant. Mark at the 49-yard line and give him a first down. Good call by the Battlehawks. They spread him out with 4 wide, empty the box, and then Durant just gets the ball and does the rest. Well, Sacramento again also can. I mean, if they have the hotels and whatnot, I don't see why not. I don't see why not. They have a new arena. There's renewed interest. I could see it. You said the Rams will bounce back before the Ramsey trade. Do I still think that? No, they decimated their roster. No, I thought they were going to do a lot more in the offseason. They kind of decimated the roster. McCarron with the wheels. How about that? McCarron with the wheels. Ball is at the 35-yard line. So gain of about 16 on the play. They're in Vegas territory. Back-to-back first downs. A.J. McCarron showing off some speed. You don't see that every day. You know, I don't think... I think the Rams just... You look at their defense right now. Can you name any player on their defense? Like, can the average person besides Aaron Donald name any player on their defense? Besides Aaron Donald. I mean, that defense is non-existent anymore. I've never played Diablo. They're going to mark this one at the 33-yard line. So, again, a 2 on the run, 2nd and 8. Yeah, I think Dan Quinn will probably be next in line to succeed McCarthy. There's a reason he stayed. If they fire McCarthy, Dan Quinn will be the replacement. Yeah, Niners fans was the best player ever. I mean, Zeke at center, how can you not love it? All right, 2nd and 8. Ball at the 33-yard line. McCarron. There's pressure. He gets rid of it on the screen pass. It's caught by Brian Hill, who gets way more than that. But there was a flag on the play. Part of it is coming back. Flag came in the secondary afterwards. Part of it is coming back. If it stands, ball will be at the 10-yard line. Be a 23-yard catch. But there was probably some holding or a block in the back after the catch. So we will see where this calls. It's an illegal block. It's a low block. Call on Vidal Alexander, number 78. Oh, breaking news. Bobby Wagner returns to the Seahawks. 1 year, $7 million deal. Breaking news, and that explains why Hill got the yardage afterwards. Bobby Wagner, one of the greatest linebackers in Seahawks history, a future Hall of Famer, 2nd and 15. Going back to the Seahawks. 1 year, $7 million. Speaking of players who left the Rams on defense. He was not once what he once was. And Keem Butler picks up 15 on the play. Did they give him a first down? That's his first catch of the game. Will they give him the first down? 2 passes went in and out of his hands earlier. He makes that catch on the slant route. Will they give him the first? Will they mark him just short? They will give him the first. So 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Literally, we were just talking about the Rams losing players. Granted, Bobby Wagner was not great last season, or even that good, but we were just talking about that. Like, I need to see the depth chart. McCarron fakes a swing route and dumps it off on the screen pass to Brian Hill. Gain of about 3. Keeping it very short. A lot of slant routes, a lot of swing routes, a lot of screens. Yeah, I'm looking at the Rams' depth chart right now because I can't tell you their defense. I literally cannot tell you their defense. All right. So the starting 11 right now for them: Jonah Williams, Bobby Brown, Aaron Donald, Keir Thomas, Ernest Jones, Christian Rosenboom, Michael Hecht, Darian Kendrick, Jordan Fuller, Russ Yeast, Robert Rochelle. Half those names sound made up. And I follow the NFL. Trust me, I follow the NFL. That's about 5 yards on the play. Outside of Aaron Donald, I mean, the average fan cannot tell you any of those guys. That's their defense next year. So you can see why I'm not sold on the Rams turning it around anymore. I'm not exactly sold on that. All right, 3rd and 1, ball at the 16-yard line. Is this 4-down territory in this swing? We'll see. 3rd and 1. Going to the shotgun, we do have a running back in the backfield. And stuffed. Kareem Walker Absolutely blown up on the play. Loss of 1 by Joshua Allen, 4th and 2, and probably going to send the field goal unit on. I don't know why you go shotgun necessarily on 3rd and 1. They're just going to hand it off. I'll just fall forward. Are they going for it? It looks like they're leaving the offense out there. 4th and 2, ball at the 17-yard line. 1:23 left in the first quarter. They are leaving the offense out there. Rams are like the Marvel after Endgame. That's a pretty good comparison, actually. McCarron, 4th and 2. Firing, and that is caught. That is caught. The 5 trying to muscle his way forward to the 4, down at the 3-yard line. So they go for it, they take a gamble, and it pays off. George Campbell. George Campbell. First and goal. I don't know why Sean McVay decided to stay. Yeah, I don't know. $100 million from Amazon? Awfully tempting. Awfully tempting. No, the Stokes were rebuilding, then they bring Wagner back. I mean, they weren't really rebuilding when they went, as that run gets nothing, so 2nd and goal. I thought they were rebuilding last year, but rebuilding teams don't give $40 million to their QB for Geno Smith. Rebuilding teams don't make the playoffs. So, yeah, Bobby Wagner just got sent back to the Seahawks. Thoughts on that? Look, Wagner's not what he once was. Wagner is not what he once was, but I won't hate on a reunion. I won't hate on a reunion at all. So 2nd and goal when we get back. End of the first quarter, no scoring here. Are the Kings final contenders? You asked me that 3 weeks ago, I would have said no, but now I do believe it. Now I do believe it. The Kings' offense is great. De'Aaron Fox is incredibly clutch. They just find a way to get it done. Mike Brown's a heck of a coach. I think the Kings can make the finals. Do I think they will? No, but I think they could absolutely win a playoff series, and I think they are finals contenders. Look, if the Suns can't do it, I want to see the Kings do it. That fan base has been through so much. I'd love to see the beam get lit up after winning the finals. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. The Rams' defense is made up of Madden auto-generated rookies. Yeah, but undrafted rookies because they don't have any picks. They're finally starting to retool, at least. Finally starting to retool. All right, it's a very low-scoring game to start off. Nothing. Seahawks fans treating about the Week 18 game I was at. Yeah, I mean, Wagner's a legend. Wagner is going to be a Hall of Famer, one of the best Seahawks of all time. Levante David, Hall of Famer? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. Hall of very good. Hall of very good. But I don't think Hall of Fame. I think the other problem with David is that it's very hard to shake off an infamously bad play, and David had that against the Jets where he cost his team the game back in 2014. It's tough to shake that off. Quandre Diggs. Oh, was Diggs the one that broke that? Quandre Diggs was the one that broke it. Wow. All right. He's got more sources than Dov. That's impressive. Should the Rams tank for Caleb? Depends on Stafford and how well he plays. Because if Stafford can come back from that injury, he can still give you another 5 years at QB, maybe. But if he can't, then yeah, tank. How do I see the Raiders next season? I don't like Josh McDaniels at all. So, and Jimmy Garoppolo, he's fine at QB, but I'm not sure he's that big of an upgrade of a car. I'm going to guess probably 6 wins. I think McDaniels has done it for this year. Is AJ Green the definition of Hall of Very Good? Absolutely. Absolutely. Hall of Very Good. Never will have a shot at the Hall of Fame. One of the greatest nicknames in all sports is Red Range, the Galloping Ghost. Absolutely. Galloping Ghost is an iconic nickname. Absolutely iconic nickname. All right, so we're back from commercial. 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line when we get back, or on this very next play. Who's going to tank for Arch Manning? Let's see him play a college game first. Jimmy G's not here. Yeah, I mean, I never said he was. he's not much of an upgrade over Carr. I mean, he doesn't make mistakes like Carr does. Like Carr at the end of last season was terrible. But I don't know. 2nd and goal. They actually moved back a yard. Wide receiver jet sweep into the end zone for the touchdown. Into the end zone, it's Gary Jennings Jr. G. Jennings putting the team on his back, getting the Battlehawks on the board. 6-0, and they're going to go for 2. 2-point conversion taken from the 5-yard line. Wide receiver jet sweep. Easy does it. Jennings just walks into the end zone. Yeah, Bledsoe's all very good. I completely agree with that. I mean, Arch Manning's arm strength wasn't great in high school, but I want to see him play an actual college game before we can start the tank talk. So there's so many great high school quarterbacks that then don't translate to college. So remember, half the guys in high school they're going up against are guys that are doing it for fun, doing it for extracurricular activity, not because they're any good. McCarron fires, end zone, it is caught! It is caught, so they get the 2-point conversion. It is Darius Shepard. Actually, I think one of the receivers thought was intended for him, but Shepard stood in front of it, got the 2. 8-0, Battlehawks. Who's going to tank for McCoy? I would trade Trevor Lawrence and 5 first-round picks for McCoy. Yeah, I think it was Campbell in the background that thought it was for him. But Shepard just steps in front of it, gets the 2-point conversion, and it is an 8-0 ball game. So the Battlehawks, after a scoreless first quarter, they get on the board. Again, they need this win to stay tied with Seattle for the 2nd spot in the conference, or in the division rather. Vegas, if they lose this game, 1-5, they're 3 back of a playoff spot with 4 to play. And St. Louis and Seattle still have to play each other again. It's pretty unlikely. Vegas, they're pretty much eliminated if they don't win this game. You win this game, 2 back with 4 to play. Honestly, not terrible. Not great, but not terrible. Especially San Antonio, your next game. Kirk Benkert in his first start. Who knows how he's going to be as his return to 25. And then you play St. Louis and Seattle. You can make up some ground there. Granted, their final 3 games are on the road, so they only have 1 more home game after this. You lose this one, it's over. Lose this one, it is over. Steal the draft, I have no clue. Again, I've not done a whole lot with my predictions. With my analysis, I really got to start doing that. You have 15:30 left. K-State up 49-47. As we go to TV time out there. How can you not like watching Marquise play? How can you not after that 19 assist game? Spin move, and he's going to be a yard short of the first down. John Lovett. You got to love it there. 1st and 10, gets 9, 2nd down at the 34-yard line. Tank for J. Oh, no, they are going to give him the first down. I thought his knee was down before, but they are going to give him the full 10 yards. Here's a tank for JG9. If you want to tank for me, you're making the biggest mistake of your life. Press fires way too high on that throw. Intended for Geronimo Allison. Nice little comeback route, but tight coverage, way too high on the throw. Did feel the pressure. Travis Feeney, he's been causing havoc. He's been wrecking havoc all game long. Forced Pris to run earlier on 3rd down, came up short. Feeney got the hit there. That is a mismatch. 56 on 56 in that battle. It is easily Feeney that's winning that one. 2nd 10, they give it to Lovett, who had 10 yards on the last one, but we're going to lose a yard there. Great tackle there, solo tackle there by number 6, Lakeem Williams. Lakeem the Dream on that one. Oh, God, the Whopper song. Will Roger Goodell lay down the gauntlet on a team that attempt to tank for Caleb, Archer, any consensus? I mean, how are you going to prove tanking? How are you going to prove it? That's the thing. How do you prove it? Because the players won't tank, the coaches won't tank. How do you prove it? If it's blatantly obvious, then yeah, but how are you going to do it? Pancake block, but that's why it was more of a hold. 3rd and 11. You got to get the first down here, otherwise St. Louis is just going to decline this penalty, and Lovick comes up about 5 yards short, so we'll just decline this penalty. 4th and 5. It's holding on the play. I mean, St. Louis, their pass rusher just went down to the ground. So we'll see what the penalty is here. Hands to the face on the offense. It's on West. It's on Donovan West. Oh, but the penalties are offsetting. There's a... I didn't hear what the penalty was on St. Louis. They cut away from that. They're just offsetting penalties. I don't know why the NFL doesn't just go to a draft lottery like the NBA. Oh, that'd be terrible. That would be terrible. I hate lotteries in general. I just hate the lottery in general. They should not introduce a lottery. If you have the worst record, you should pick first. As long as you've earned that record by not tanking, you should pick first. Perez, screen pass. It's caught, 40, 45, hurdles, and gets down to the 47-yard line. It's DeAndre Torrey. So the offsetting penalties pick up 13 yards. Good for a Vegas first down. DeAndre Torrey. Nice little hurl at the very end to get some extra yardage. It was Nate Meters who was on the tackle, forcing Torrey to jump. 1st and 10, ball at the 47-yard line. Obviously, the Steelers draft is bumper pool. Best name of the draft. Perez. Pressure. Has to get rid of it quickly. Over the middle. Incomplete. Misfired. Intended on the play for Torrey, but it overshot him. Or intended for Brian and undershot him. Perez went down on the play. There was a flag. A lot of flags in this game so far. We'll see what the call is here. Flag came pretty quickly. Yeah, it's... is it false start or illegal formation? Where are they rolling it? Like, should the play have happened in the first place? Let's see what the referee says. He gave the false start motion, but we'll... Illegal formation. They were going to accept the penalty and push him back 5. Chris has been feeling pressure all game. You got to think the strategy here, just go screens, go everything short, because right now Perez has no time to throw back there. The offensive line is doing nothing for him whatsoever. Feeney and company have just been having their way. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Refs sound so depressed. I mean, he's had to call so many penalties in this game, and it's on a minor league baseball field. I don't blame him. Perez actually had some time to throw. Fires toward the sticks, and it is caught. It is caught there by Martavis Bryant, the former Steeler. Picks up the first down. Being about 17 on the play. And the Vipers are in Battlehawk territory. Moving from their own 42 to the 42 of the Battlehawks. I hate it when fans say teams should tank like no players and coaches are not going to intentionally lose games for some random guy that isn't even a pro yet. I mean, and they are reviewing whether this was a catch or not. It looked like it was. He only had 1 foot. He got the foot in. Yeah, this is going to be a very quick review. I don't think his toe hit the white. That's why I'm always in favor of wearing white shoes. I don't think you should wear black shoes or any shoes of a different color. You should wear white shoes if you're a wide receiver, so it's tough to tell. I've always believed that. But I think this is going to be a very quick review. Look, I get why fans want teams to tank. I get it. I completely get it. Look, I was in the boat in 2020. I didn't want to win games. When we were 1-7 and I knew our season was over, I wanted the Jags to lose. I wanted them to lose. I was jumping for joy when the Jets beat the Rams and the Browns. I was jumping for joy. You see why. What's one meaningless win against the Vikings going to do? If we won that game in overtime, what's one meaningless win going to do? Make you feel good for like 5 minutes versus what could have happened is getting Zach Wilson. If we fell down to 2. And now we got Trevor Lawrence. Am I going to do a collab with Tree? Look, if Tree wants to have me on a show, by all means. I love Tree. Absolutely love Tree. If he wants to have me on a show, by all means, I'm not going to say no. Troy picks up 4 yards on the play. Seconds. I did see on Clickbait this past Wednesday that they are going to do some trivia style competitions. So, and I reached out to 5 Point name drop me in there. So we'll see if anything happens. So we'll see if anything happens. But some exciting stuff is coming up. I will say there is some news I can't say yet, but you are going to see more of my content on other channels. I'll put it that way. There is some exciting stuff that has been in the works for a bit. That once the first one drops, I'll let you guys know. But some exciting stuff. K-State up by 5. Heck of a 3-point shot there. 3rd and 8. 9:39 left. Is this 4-down territory? We'll see how they play this one. 3rd and 8. Perez drops back the Russian 4. He's got time to throw. Most time he's had all game. And dropped on the play. Oh, man. John Lovett. It would have been at least in the discussion to go for it. Would have been about a gain of 6. John Lovett, coaches are not going to love that one. That's a beautiful throw, beautiful spiral. And Lovett just drops the ball. 4th and 8. Putting team is coming out. Remember, touchback goes to the 35-yard line. That's the one thing you can't have happen here. A touchback is a net of 5 yards. That's it. Happy you're getting recognized by other creators who are content this week. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Single fair catch. Look at the backspin. Gets the backspin on it. Gets the backspin on it. Great punt there. Great punt there by Carrizosa. It's down by Will Adams. And the Battlehawks are going to start this drive at their own 2-yard line. Great backspin on that punt. 38-yard punt, no return. Pins the Battlehawks deep in their own territory. Have to go 98 yards to replicate what they did on their last drive. Why is the MLB draft so irrelevant compared to other leagues' drafts? I think there's a very easy reason for that. NFL. Let's think. NFL draft. You draft out in the first round. When are you seeing him play? You're seeing him play game 1. NBA. You draft a guy at the high end, like you draft a guy like Zion or someone, or you draft Wemby. When are you going to see him play? Game 1. MLB. You have the first pick in the draft. When are you seeing the guy play in the majors? Not for another 3 or 4 years. Not for another 3 or 4 years. I think that's why. That's exactly why. Also, it's very easy to follow college basketball, follow certain prospects, very easy to follow college football. I'm not saying it's not easy to follow college baseball, but a lot of these teams are drafting guys out of high school. You can't really follow high school baseball. Where are you seeing high school baseball games on TV? So I think that's why. Like the D-backs drafted Drew Jones, and I was excited about that pick. 2nd overall this past year. But he's not going to play in the majors, I don't think, before 2025. He's probably not playing for a while. So I think that's why. Trevor Lawrence, I knew was going to play game 1. Draft Trevor, I knew he's going to play game 1. Drew Jones, he's not playing right away. You don't see guys go from the draft to the majors right away. They spend at least a year in the minors. So that's why. Yeah, NHL draft is the same way. Barring a very, very few exceptions. If you're really good, you'll do it. But other than that, I could be wrong. I don't think Connor McDavid had to spend any time in the minors. I think Connor McDavid, he could just play right away. But you don't see that in the you don't see that in MLB. You don't see that. NHL, at least the top guys can do it. The top guys can do it. But MLB, no one's doing it. Like, who's the last player to never play in the minors? Just play straight in the majors? I honestly don't know. But there's a whole Wikipedia article. That's when you know. List of baseball players who went directly to Major League Baseball. Obviously, I'm not counting if you played in other leagues. Yeah, the last one to do it, Garrett Crochet did it. Crochet did it, but then again, there was no minor league baseball in 2020 because of COVID. So the last one really was Mike Leake. The last one was Mike Leake back in 2010 with the Cincinnati Reds. Then Xavier Nady with the Padres in 2000. And that's it. I'm not counting Garrett from 2020 because there was no minor league baseball in 2020 because of COVID. So in the last 30 years, you have 2 guys. And that's why the MLB draft is tough. Did I say what's going to do? Yes, I am going to do that. I've been way behind, but I am going to do a historical dumb decisions on JG8. I am way behind. Full start on Darius Shepard, so moving back to the 2-yard line. I am way behind schedule on that. But I am going to do it. I just have to find what to send to my editor for the next story, which I think I found. I think I found the next story I'm going to send to my editor, so I have to work on that script. And then I have to work on a script coming out for the next JG8 episode, because it won't be dumb decisions. It'll be something Wisconsin related. And then probably dumb decisions will come out. If Todd Bowles is bad this year, do you think he's going to be fired? Yes. He showed nothing last year. 1st and 12 at the 1-yard line. Empty backfield from the 1-yard line. All right. This has to be a quick pass. No, they're going to go deep. Relatively speaking, and it actually worked. They send him on a fly route. They send Brian Hill on a fly route, and it actually works. They get the first down. Risky play. But it does work. They get out of their own end zone, gain a 17, down to the 18-yard line. Wagner re-signed with the Seahawks, not the Rams. Now they mark up the 17. 1st and 10. McCarron. Handoff to Hill. Gets down to the 21-yard line. Tackle on the play. Looked like 25 was the main guy who came in, Marwin Evans. 8:13 left. 8-0 Battlehawks. And we're streaming every XFL game. Pure coincidence that the schedule just popped up on FX. And this game is on FX right now. Tomorrow's game, 3 o'clock, San Antonio, Arlington. Again, Kurt Benkert just signed with the Brahmas. He's not starting this week. He will start the week after that. Must-win game for the Brahmas as the South Division sort of sorts itself out. We'll start that series at 2:45. And then Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, DC, Houston, one of the most anticipated games of the season. First down for the Battlehawks. Kareem Walker. Gain of 16 on the play. They started this drive at their own 1-yard line. But just like that, they are making themselves known. You talk way more about your second favorite team than your first favorite. You talk more about Idaho than Washington State. That is true. Quick little screen pass by McCarron. Caught by Butler. Gain of about 7 on the play. Mark it down the 44-yard line. Butler is just so much taller than everyone else. Local CBS affiliate in Houston terminates their high school showcase at the end of the basketball season. Yeah, they don't cover baseball, softball. Yeah, exactly. That's part of why. You never see high school baseball games get televised. You never see that. If you know a high school baseball player, like if you've seen them play, odds are you saw them play Little League World Series. That's why. McCarron goes through his reads, finds a wide open, I think that's Prohl. No, it's Darius Shepard. My bad. But they're in Vegas territory, the 41-yard line. Wide open there in the flat. And Vegas' defense just falling apart. Again, this started at the 1-yard line. McCarron has completed 11 straight passes. I'm very quickly eating my words on McCarron. I said I was not too impressed by him, but I am impressed right now. And that throw on the fly route to Hill was brilliant, and he's just commanding a phenomenal drive right now. At halftime, we'll commentate the K-State Florida Atlantic game. It's 60-57 right there. Walker taken down in the backfield. There was a flag on the play in the area of holding Joshua Allen. If they're going to decline this penalty, it's going to be a loss of 3. But it looked like they accepted the penalty. It's holding on the Battlehawks, number 73. 2nd and 13 versus 1st and 20. I don't know. I don't know if I would have done that. Tackle at the 46-yard line. But they decide to accept the penalty. I don't know. That's close. That is close. I'm not sure what them is. 2nd and 14 versus 1st and 20. I think I would have declined the penalty. We'll see. McCarron fires over the middle. It is caught down at the 44-yard line. Shepard on the grab. Had the last catch earlier. So McCarron now 12 straight completions. So I think it just is exactly where it's right around where it was if they just decline the penalty. So no harm really done. Now you mentioned players and coaches won't take, but owners could force coaches to not use certain plays. Depends if the coach knows he's gonna keep his job or not. If the coach is gonna fire at the end of the season, why would he listen to the owner? McCarron firing deep. It is caught. Did he stay in bounds? Did Prohl stay in bounds? They are saying no. So that ends the streak of 12 straight completions. Good effort there by Prohl. Blandino and company looking at it right now. A nice throw. Put it in an area where only a receiver can get it. Can't tell from that angle. But he catches it there. I need a reverse angle. There's a referee and there's a guy in a blue vest in the way. So I can't tell from that angle if that's a catch or not. Play clock's at 0. Now they're resetting it. They are giving him first down. They are saying Prohl caught it. So heck of a catch there by Prohl. 13 straight completions now. Ball at the 21-yard line. And this drive started at the 1-yard line. This could be a backbreaker. Butler, screen pass, nothing doing. Nice open field tackle there by Keelan Kennedy. Like a situation like coaches forcing to not play certain players, that would only work if you have a coach that's in it for the long haul. Most teams, when they get top pick, their coach gets fired for starting over. I bet you didn't know that 1999 ISC played a home game against Washington State and Bowl. I did not know that. Wish I did a video on that. McCarron taken down in the backfield. First sack. It is Pita on the sack. Pita gets the sack. The Vipers defense starting to come alive. Blows by the right tackle there, number 73, Juwan Michelle Beatty. And Pita with an easy sack. 3rd and 17, ball at the 28-yard line. Big play here for the Battlehawks. It'll be a 46-yard field goal from here, which would be a 2-possession game if they make it, but with this win, you never know. 3rd and 17, empty backfield. McCarron just going to go short, trying to get some of that yardage back. It's caught by Stephen Mitchell. I should have done my Joe Buck call. Mitchell down to the 22-yard line. So 4th and 11, 39, 40-yard field goal. You're going to try it here. 2:39 left. You have both teams have all 3 timeouts and a challenge left. 40-yard field goal to make it a 2-possession game. It's Donnie Hogman. Donnie from 40 yards out. Kick is up. It is perfect. It is perfect. 11-0. 2-possession game just like that. We'll see. Vegas does get the ball to start the second half, so they can muster up a drive here. You never know. The Vegas Vipers are basically the Sharks and Browns had a child. Yeah, Ryan Zimmerman, though he still played a bit in the minors, but he still played a bit in the minors. He didn't skip the minors entirely. I don't think. See, he wasn't on the Wikipedia article. He was not on that article. You know, he played in 05 in the minors for a bit. what non-NHL athlete player would make the best goalie? Need someone... I think, honestly, an NFL defensive lineman who has very good hands and very good reflexes, I think they'd be very, very good. Take up a lot of space in the net, but they can also move their body very quickly. And Florida Atlantic is up by 1 with 6 minutes left, 64-63. 6 minutes left for the first spot in the Final Four. Okay, name all the teams that traded for Dickerson. So you have the Colts, you have the Falcons, you have the Raiders, you have the Packers. This is AJ McCarron and Patrick Mahomes. You tell me. 14 straight completions. In the NHL, the Junior League, are where it's at when it comes to finding prospects. Yeah. What is the sports edition of the 7 Wonders of the World? Got to include SoFi and the Kippido. All right, 7 Wonders of the World sports edition. Probably say... Man. I would say Wembley. I would say Melbourne Cricket Ground. Say Wembley, Melbourne Cricket Ground, Camp Nou, the Bernabeu, the Garden, Lambeau, and either Fenway or Wrigley. I'd say I'll go Fenway. On the top of my head, that's probably the 7 I pick. I'm ready for the sequel to the Josh Allen Bowl. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Josh Allen won pretty good, but I don't know. Josh Allen might have him beat this time. Josh Allen might have him beat. Should the NFL bring back 0 as a wearable number? I don't see why not. Thoughts on Thursday Night Flex scheduling? Hate it. It's bad for the fans. We have to travel. It's bad for the players. Bad for everyone involved. I would hate flex scheduling for Thursday Night Football. It's already dicey with Monday Night Football flex scheduling. It's already dicey in that regard. Like, just speaking as a fan personally, it was tough for me to book tickets and plan out my week and whatnot with the Jaguars Titans game. That got flexed to Saturday. .2:11 left. Again, Vegas has all 3 timeouts, so they have time. 1st and 10, ball at the 23-yard line. Again, they do get the ball to start the second half, so just keep that in mind. Empty backfield. Perez takes it. Hitches it first. And gain about 5 on the play. Catch there made by Geronimo Allison. And that'll take us to 2-minute warning. Ball to 28 when they get back from commercial. It's quite the pizza run you make, Kyle. It's quite the pizza run. The Sabres like the playoffs, go ahead goal game 7 with 13 seconds, so the other team ties them. They lose enough time without having possession of the puck. That would be their luck. Lovie Smith, intentionally or not, screw the Texans. Oh, he did. Oh, he totally did. He totally screwed them out. But you know what would have happened if they lost that game? He still would have been fired. He still absolutely would have been fired. Okay, if we're just counting American sports, or just USA, Kibby Dome, SoFi, Wrigley, Fenway, Garden, Lambeau, Superdome. Probably put the Big House in there. Big House has to go in there at some point. I forgot the Kibby Dome. Oh, the Kibby Dome is its own wonder. Sure, Saturday NFL games can be a thing. Legally not allowed to. There are the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961 prevents that from happening. There's a reason that NFL games start on Saturday in December, and that they happen every week after that. And that's because that's the first time they're legally allowed to. Trust me, if they could, other times they would. If they could, they absolutely would, but they're not allowed to. All right, 5:30 left in the Florida Atlantic Kansas State game. Game is on TBS right now. We'll commentate that a bit more as the once we hit halftime in the XFL game. Since why not? Why not allowed to? Because the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961 prevents it. Basically, it's a way of preventing high school and college and NFL from competing against each other. Yeah, it protects them. It protects them. Protects attendance, protects revenue in those sports. Because if you had NFL games on Friday up against high school football, NFL's going to win. They recognized very early on that NFL was king and it would destroy the other levels of football. So it's a good protection there. It's a good protection in that regard. Our Florida Atlantic ball up by 2. Driving to the hoop. Layup is way off mark. Rebounded by K-State. Clemson or LSU? What's the real Death Valley? I always think of Death Valley as LSU. I always think of it as LSU. Unevaded to the quarterback, so 5 yards. Unless they are going to blow it dead for a false start. But it might be unevaded to the quarterback. No, false start. They are going to say false start. So another penalty on the play. Another penalty in this game. Feels like that's a lot of penalties. It is Isaiah Williams getting called for the penalty there. Could the community be haunted after the horror show that happened? I mean, it probably is haunted. Who knows? Time left, 2 minutes on the dot. 2 minutes on the dot. They're doing a Black Friday game? Yeah, it's probably, because Friday night games are not allowed. That's why. 3 o'clock? They're doing the game at 3 o'clock because 6 o'clock is when it starts. And that's exactly why. Perez fires to the 6. It is caught. Can he get out of bounds? He can. He can. Spins his way out of bounds. First down, Martavis Bryant. But it's actually, I wonder, does Friday games, do they count? Because that accounted for TV. But Amazon's not TV. Amazon's streaming. So does that count? I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's an interesting question that I'm sure the NFL would challenge in court sometime. Hi from Who Dat Nation. How's it going, Joseph? Perez steps into the sack. Just mauled on the play. Looked like it was 56 and 51 coming in together on the sack. Travis Feeney having himself a day. Willie Harvey Jr. also coming in there with Feeney. Said his name way too many times. Who's my favorite team? In the XFL, I don't have one. I just like watching. Second and where are they going to mark this? 2nd and 16. Vegas burns their first time out. They have 2 left. Watching the FAU K-State game, they took a TV timeout with exactly 4 minutes left. I thought it was supposed to be the under 4 timeout. You know, it's 4 and under. It's 4 and under. I've seen it with 16 too. It's 4 and under. It just rarely happens on something like that. I love that both the Seattle game and this game, they took time after a timeout to promote the Houston DC game Monday, but they didn't take any time to promote San Antonio against Arlington. They really want to stress the importance of this game. And it is a big one. It is a big one, though. Only time these teams are meeting, 5-0, 4-1, combined winning percentage of 90%, the 2 best teams in the XFL. That's going to be a good one on Monday. I'll be here streaming that at 6:45 Eastern, so tune in for that one. Motion the running back into the backfield, and now they motion him back out. 2nd and 16, looking for the running back, and gets the running back. It's actually Sweeting, was lined up as a running back, but he's wide receiver. So, gain about 3 on the play. If the Saints didn't win Super Bowl 44, would they be the worst franchise? It's tough to top the Cardinals. It's tough to top the Cardinals. If they did it after the World Series, no, I would think so. I think they do it now specifically because players would play in it and they're near their cities. Perez, he's going down. He is going down. 2 sacks on that drive. You figure St. Louis will call timeout here. Is number 96. It is Carson Wells. Now, my depth chart 96 is not Atkins. 96 is, oh, no, yeah. No, 90. Okay, so it was 96. Yeah, 90 came in at the very end. All right, that's why. Kevin Atkins, Laquel London, they all helped on that one. Battlehawks call their first timeout. They have 2 left. 4th and 23. It's just not been going Vegas' way at all. Two sacks on that drive. St. Louis has a chance here to blow this one open going into halftime. It's Austin Prohl back on the return. 4th and 23, ball on the 23-yard line, so there was 7 yards there. Oh, Tiny Trout was great for the game. Absolutely great for the game. Saints also actually changed it to the Vikings. I think, then yes, they would be the worst franchise. Fielded at the 36-yard line. Taken by Prohl to the 40 and down at the 44-yard line. 8-yard return there. Tackled by Brandon Dillon. The Battlehawks get this at the 44. Again, remember, Vegas gets the ball to start the second half. Also on TBS, 4 minutes on the dot. 66-63, FAU at the free throw line. To shoot a 1-and-1. Or second one, rather. That was the second free throw. That one's good. 67-63. But back in XFL, 43-yard line is where St. Louis is going to take over. In motion, Brian Hill back into the backfield. He got 4 wide. 3 on the far side, 1 on the near side. Karen changes the play at the line. Only 6 in the box for Vegas. We'll see how they play this. They're only rushing 4. McCarron fires. It is caught. The 49-yard line. And helmet to helmet is the call. Akeem Butler went down on the play. Helmet to helmet contact. He's down in some pain. He'll be evaluated. But very blatant helmet to helmet penalty there. So this catch was made at the 49-yard line. Butler, the best receiver for St. Louis. One of the best receivers in the XFL. That does not look good. Moving to the 34-yard line after the 15-yard penalty. Akeem Butler getting drilled on the play as he was going to the ground. Looked like helmet-to-helmet contact. Looked like it was Adam Sparks who made the hit. If that's the call, Vegas will, or St. Louis will have Vegas' 34-yard line with 1:14 and 2 timeouts. Butler is walking off. Oh, it's on number 27, Nigel Hill, not 22. Nigel Hill. Butler is walking off on his own power. That is good to see. You know, Travis Feeney's been phenomenal today. He's been the best player for the Battlehawks defensively. Maybe the best player of this game for either side. It's very, very good. Again, Butler second in the XFL in receptions, only behind Ja'Cory Pearson of the Sea Dragons, who has 40. Butler also second in the XFL in touchdown catches, tied with John Trey Kirkland of the Roughnecks, only behind Jeff Badette on the other side of the Vipers, who has 5. Handoff goes to Hill, gain of 3 on the play. 2nd and 7. Seen a replay of that last play. Yep, and that is textbook helmet to helmet. Going to the ground, he's defenseless. Hill getting called for the penalty. 2nd and 7. Super Bowl 44 was the only Super Bowl between 2 indoor teams. I think you might be right on that. I think you might be right. That sounds right. I'm trying to think of others. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure I can think of any. Taking a lot of time to get that one off. 2nd 7, fires. End zone, wide open. Touchdown. Touchdown, Battlehawks. Darius Shepard. AJ McCarron is on fire right now. Who saw this coming? AJ McCarron making himself an MVP case as FAU just goes up by 6. They take a lot of time to get that play off and then hits Darius Shepard on the post route. 17-0. Blown coverage there. It looked like it was number of... I don't have a number 5 with that. Sure, might have been Keelan Kennedy who got blown by. Butler goes out of the game. No problem. Shepard does some work. 2 touchdowns now for the Battlehawks today. Gary Jennings with the first. McCarron, that is absolutely insane. McCarron going to the end zone, and he gets Dropped. It is actually dropped. That was a nice throw by McCarron, but it got dropped by Stephen Mitchell on the 2-point conversion. So it's still a 2-possession game. Remember, you can get 9 points. This game is looking bad. It is looking very bad. We'll see what the penalty is here. Illegal formation on the Battlehawks. Decline penalty. 17-0. This is not looking good. Adrian McCarron started the game 0 for 3. He started the game 0 for 3. Since then, 17 straight completions. We have not seen a performance like this all season from McCarron or from any quarterback for that matter. 17 for 20. 166 yards passing. Wow. And 2 touchdown passes, 1 to Jennings. Grant, that was one of those jet sweep plays that counts as a touchdown. The one to Shepard was obviously very, very good. 10-yard line is where this is fielded by Vegas. This game has gone from bad to worse for the Vipers. 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line. What does that come out to as a passer rating? Let me put that in. So Adrian McCarron right now in this first half is 17 for 20. He's got 166 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 134.6. He is having quite the game. Caw is the law. What happens in Vegas? That is true. That is true. Ball at the 27-yard line. Vegas looking for any spark whatsoever. Throw on the screen does not get there quickly at all. At least he gets out of bounds. At least Bryant got out of bounds. Perez having a rough one. The offensive line is crumbling on him. I don't think Vegas has had any long plays whatsoever. No plays longer than 20 yards. It's in one of those games. One of those games. Perez, 11 for 13, 65 yards passing. When you're completing 11 passes and you only have 65 yards, that's when you know. 2nd and 9. Perez at the 28. Check down. It's caught. That's not going to do anything. Timeout Vegas, you would think. Are they not calling timeout? I think they're just going to go into the half. They're just going into the half. I don't believe it. 17-0. You're not going to try it. Wow. That is sad. That is sad. They're just going into the half. Vegas does get the ball to start the half. Second half. 17-0 Battlehawks. This is ugly. How many fans are there? It actually looks more full than other games. Actually, it looks relatively full. More full than I thought. I would say about 6,000, 6,500. Again, the other games were listed around 6,000, and that was not 6,000. So I don't know. 17-0, one of the most dominant halves of football we've seen by any team. Favorite video games? I'm not a huge video game person. I like playing the sports games. So Madden, FIFA. I haven't played any real video game in like 2 years. I want to get to the locker room to watch the rest of Florida, Atlanta, Kansas State. Speaking of which, we'll watch that right now. 72-66 in that one. 72-66. 152 left. That game is on TBS. 3-point by K-State. It's good. It's good. 72-69. And hang on a second, folks. Nice bounce down. Dunk is no good. Dunk is no good. It was rebounded by, it was Vladislav Golden who missed the dunk there. But how about that 3-pointer? How about that 3? Who else could it be but Marquise Noel? Who else could it have been? And they're going to call a foul there on David Nguessen. Foul Nicholas Boyd. Shepard is fast. He fouled out of the game because of it. That's why he was holding the jersey to his face. So his day is done. 72-69. Owls lead by 3 with 1:32 left. We'll be commentating this game until the XFL comes back on. Because it's halftime right now in that. So FAU at the line to shoot a 1-and-1 in the bonus. K-State is nice. Nick Boyd at the line. First free throw of the game for him. It is no good. It is no good. Rebounded by FAU, and they keep it inbounds. Heck of a play. And they're just going to reset back to Janelle Davis. Janelle Davis, 10 on the clock. Heck of a rebound there by FAU. Drive into the hoop. Layup is good. Layup is good. Second chance points. FAU up by 5. 1:12 left. Davis now with 13 on the day. Now taking it. Noel taking it up. Drives. Cannot get it to go, but they are going to call a blocking foul, so Noel will be at the line to shoot 2. The rebound on that last play, Elijah Martin kept that one in. 6'2", undersized compared to the guys on K-State's line, but kept it in, and then Davis gets the layup to go. So Noel to the line to shoot 2. 74-69. All important free throws coming up. First free throw is good. 74-70. Do I believe in fouling up 3? Absolutely. You're up 3, you foul. You don't. The odds if they make the free throw, then miss it, kick it back out, are way, way less than the odds of making a 3. Second free throw by Noel is good. One of the best free throw shooters in the country. 74-71. Back to a 3-point game. 1:06 left. FAU has 3 timeouts. K-State has 2, so this could take a while. That's all I'll say. This could take a while. 74-71. Winner goes to the Final Four. FAU has never been there. Gonna let this clock run all the way down to about 10 seconds before they even start calling a play here. It's to Boyd. Kicks it back. 3-point shot by Elijah Martin. Not even close. Not even close. Elijah Martin way off the mark there. Pull up from 3 off the dribble. That's going to be a tough shot any way you want to slice it. 39.2 left. K-State with the ball down by 3. Here we go. Marquise Noel. Who else? Going to get this ball. Going to drive quickly. Going for the reverse layup. It is no good. FAU with the board. And now you got a foul. They don't play for a 3. They play for a quick 2. It doesn't work. And Boyd is going to go to the line because of it. Wow. They go quick. Tries a reverse layup. Wild shot, all things considered. And Boyd goes to the free throw line with just under 30 seconds left. FAU's miracle season. You could tell that something special was happening at FAU when they upset Florida. They were ranked for most of the year. Cap this off with a Final Four appearance that no one saw coming in just their second term appearance ever. 1-1. First free throw by Boyd is good. 2-possession game. 2-possession game. Again, this is on TBS. I'll let you know when the XFL is back. I'll let you know when the XFL is back on FX. But right now, TBS 75-71. Nick Boyd. He missed his last free throw on the 1-1. Gets that one to go. The second one to make it a 5-point game. That's off the mark. It's long. And it's rebounded by the Wildcats. Rebounded by Cam Carter. Trying a quick 3. And that's good. Hang on a second, folks. 22.8. 22.8. Huge 3 by the Wildcats. And that means now you can foul. And it would still, even like both free throws, it's still a 1-possession game. Carter gets the board. Pulls up for a quick 3. Instead of passing out to the corner where his teammate looked like he would have had 3 too, Carter decides to do it himself, and it pays off. Cam Carter. The former Mississippi State guard. 1-point game. Yeah, that second free throw miss is going to hurt. Boyd's only 1 for 3 at the line. Boyd's only 1 for 3. Granted, the last one was fine because of long ball, they got the second chance point, but that missed free throw is going to hurt a lot. Terrence Williams went to middle school at the school he teaches at. That's awesome. That's awesome. 75-74. The next game up is UConn against Gonzaga. That's also on TBS. This game has been nuts. Crazy good tournament. FAU, Kansas State. FAU up by 1. They have the ball. You figure Kansas State's going to try for a quick trap here. If they can't get the trap, they'll foul. If they foul, as long as they get the board on the second one, they're fine. Honestly, as long as they get the board on the second one, with the way K-State can shoot the 3, they're fine. Still be a one-possession game. The only way this backfires on K-State is if they don't get the board, if they miss the second free throw. Because both teams would be shooting 2 the rest of the way. You bought your Houston Roughnecks t-shirt and a hat and a windbreaker and a Mimi football. Oh, nice. Yeah, I haven't bought any XFL merch. I have not done that. But that was JV basketball coach where Terrence Ross was varsity. I can't even imagine what the middle school coach must have thought watching Terrence Ross play. I love Terrence Ross. He's been a fun addition to the Suns. He can shoot the 3. How's it going, Pikachu? How's it going? All right, we're still a commercial in the XFL. Again, that game is 17-0. 75-74 at the Garden right now. FAU against Kansas State. FAU going to inbound. They're lining up for like a football kind of play. Have everyone line up on the baseline, then they go for it. And they avoid the trap. Now you got to foul. Now you got to foul. If you're K-State, you got to foul. That was so beautifully well done. K-State had no idea what they were doing. K-State had no idea what they were doing. You couldn't get a trap in there. Took about 7 seconds off the clock. And Michael Forrest is going to go to the line to shoot 2 now. Senior guard, hoping he's not playing his last ever game. Michael Forrest, first free throw attempt of the game, shooting 73% on the season. Rip Vegas Vipers, yeah, I mean they're not coming back. I don't think they are. First free throw is good, 76-74. Again, this is the all-important one. Make this a still one-possession game. You miss it, you got to get the board if you're K-State. That's the one thing you can't have happen is you allow the board. We'll see what happens here. Forrest. First free throw was good. Second one is good. And FAU going to call a timeout, I think, just to... Are they calling a timeout? It looked like everyone on the bench was getting up, but they are not. I think they're just making a sub. Why are they inbounding from the side? I was wondering why they were... Yeah, some mass confusion there. You don't inbound from the side after a free throw. I don't know what that was. 77-74. 18 seconds left. Here we go. Spot in the final 4 on the line. Marquise Noel. Ball in his hands. Who else? 12. Tries to step back. No. They get a quick 2. 8.6 left. 77-76. Fake the 3, get the quick 2. It's Ismail Massoud who gets it to go. Nice play there. Forced Golden to come out. There's a wide open player down low. Oh, excuse me, it was a 35, not 25. It was the Quan Tomlin. My apologies, sir. It was Tomlin. My dad doesn't like the NBA half-court rule at timeout because it's like in football, if you have the ball, you're in 20, and they call timeout and have the ball in midfield. I agree. I don't like that. I don't like that whatsoever. K-State burns their final timeout. FAU still has all 3. 77-76. The second half of the XFL is going to start. We're going to try and pull a Kevin Harlan. We're going to do both games at once. I've done it before. I did it in college all the time. When there was conference title implications, seeding implications on the line. I would watch on a monitor. I would watch all the other games happening in the conference, and I would update as it pertains to the 2 teams playing and the relevance of it. So this is fine for me. They're going to try that football play once again. Does K-State have any idea how to stop it? Or at least force a trap? That time, they do not still. 7 seconds, they have to foul. 6.9. They take a second off, and Michael Forrest once again going to the line. You do not want him at the line if you're Kansas State. Hit the last 2 with ease. He's shooting 73% on the season. Michael Forrest back at the free throw line. Again, XFL is about to start. soon. St. Louis leading 17-0. Vegas gets the ball to start the half. Nothing really going for the Vipers all game. Perez with 65 yards. All right. And McCarron, passer rating about 135, 136. 17 straight completions to end the half. That's going to come up next. Right now, Ford's at the line to shoot 2. First one. Drains it. 2-point game. 2-point game. Here we go. Forrest, 3 for 3 on the day. Can he make it 4 for 4? 4 for Forrest. 6.9. Ball's going in. No, you gotta foul here. You gotta foul if you're a case. If you're FAU, you gotta foul. They're not fouling. They're not fouling. What the heck was that? What was that possession? What? FAU wins. They're going to the Final Four. What the heck was that possession? They didn't even get a shot off. They did not even get a shot off. I thought FAU was going to foul. I don't know what that was. FAU, for the first time in school history, is going to the Final Four, and I don't know what that possession was. They didn't even get a shot off. They got no shot off whatsoever. FAU, Final Four, for the first time ever. I am baffled by that possession. They got no shot off. I thought they were going to foul. They didn't foul, and then I think he got stripped there. But why was the ball in his hands to begin with? You put the ball in the hands of your best player. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was whatsoever. That was a terrible, terrible possession. There's no other way to slice it. So how about that? Florida Atlantic, 2 games away from being crowned the best team in college basketball. Who on earth saw this coming? That was I don't even know what that was. Again, the second half has not started yet in the XFL. The second half has not started. So we'll be going back to that once it happens. That was perfect timing, actually, in the FAU game. The second half has not started yet. I feel like it should have started by now. I forget when the half ended, but I feel like... Is there a delay of some kind? Because usually it's 10 minute halftime. I don't remember halftime being this long. Because they showed a whole segment. They went to the announcers. Usually halftime is not this long. So FAU in the Final Four. We're about to start the second half. 17-0 is the score. Honestly, I don't. Maybe the XFL was waiting for that game to end. Maybe. I don't know. Because now we're underway. But that was a long halftime. I don't remember halftime being that long. Because this year's Final Four will be the least watched ever. Depends. If Gonzaga makes it, Texas, I mean, they're big enough. But interest for Florida State, San Diego State would be very, very minimal among casual fans. And that's a good start. 39-yard line is where they're going to start this drive. So the Vipers, as the sun is beginning to set in Vegas to some extent, an all-mid-major semifinal, yes, CBS would be blowing a casket at that. Little sister jumped in the pool. That's awesome. That's awesome. So 39-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Nothing really doing there. A gain of about 1 or 2. Vegas has been struggling all game on the ground. They have 8 carries for 18 yards. 2.5 yards per carry. That's not going to get it done. I forgot to update this again. Each team has all 3 timeouts left, so let me update that. 2nd and 7. They give a very favorable spot there. Very favorable spot. 2nd and 7 at the 42. Perez. Handoff. And that one stuffed at the line. Bunch of players in on that for the Battlehawks. Blew that up right away. Trey Watson, the main one. Trey Watson, LaCale London. Loss of 1. 3rd and 8. The Athletic isn't as good as it used to be. I agree. They did lose a lot of writers. Part of what made the Athletic great is because they had coverage for every team in every sport, and now it's very generalized. If anyone had FAU in the bracket, good for you. Good for you. 3rd and 7. Perez fires toward the 6. That is picked off. That is picked off on the play. It is number 34. Who I do not have on my depth chart. No, that's why it's 24. My apologies. 24, Lavert Hill. Lavert Hill. That's the last thing the Vipers needed. This one could get very ugly very, very quickly. Oh, man. So, not just a 3 and out, but interception by Lavert Hill. And the Battlehawks take over in Vegas territory. Do I remember watching Smart Jones? I do not. The first memory I have of horse racing was Big Brown. That's really the first one I really had. And 8 Bells, I think. Well, any again MLS team, if they can get a stadium, I don't see why not. They support the 11 well for the past decade. I don't see why not. FAU City would be a pretty good Sickos Committee National Championship game. It would be. All right, they're reviewing something on the play. I'm not sure what exactly they're reviewing. And I do not have audio on, so I'm not sure what exactly they're reviewing here. Vegas is challenging something, so they do lose their challenge. I don't know what are they challenging, whether it was pass interference. I'm not sure what the challenge is here necessarily. Unless they're challenging at the top of the route. They're challenging at the top of the route that he couldn't cut back. Can't tell from that angle. I need a much better angle for that. Are they saying that Lavert Hill impeded the receiver's... Okay, here we go. This is a face mask. They're challenging a face mask on the Battlehawks. Okay, so not PI. They're challenging a face mask. All right, I don't know. You can't make anything out on that. You cannot make... If that's the best sale you got, that looks like a Picasso painting. That's not anything. You can't make anything out on that. A desperation challenges seem like USL versus XFL. I think XFL is higher quality play. Higher quality play. What do you reckon of Jared Goff? I think he had a great season last season with Detroit. Had a very good season. I think he's a top 15 quarterback in this league, maybe top 10 now. The challenge was unsuccessful. That seemed from the start like a desperation attempt. So Vegas loses their timeout. This is just going from bad to worse for the Vipers. This is absolutely terrible. Absolutely atrocious. I don't think the XFL and USFL are merging. I don't think it's going to happen. XFL, USFL, I don't think they're going to... I don't have a mod. I don't have a mod. I can't remove comments for whatever reason. I don't know why. I can't remove comments in OBS. But, I think if enough people report it, it gets removed. The worst QB in the NFL, Zach Wilson. I mean, he's pretty bad. I would say so. I would say so. So Vegas only has 2 timeouts left. This game going bad to worse for the Vipers. I thought maybe they had a shot. I was dead wrong. McCarron has completed 17 straight passes. It seems like there's some technical issue with McCarron's helmet. Or no, now he's walking into the huddle. Now he's walking in. All right. I never said there was anything wrong with Goff. I think he's a top 10 quarterback. Top 15 for sure. Proved himself last year in the second half of the season, especially. 1st and 10, ball at the 49-yard line. Handoff. Breaks a tackle at first, and gaining about one on the play. It's Brian Hill. There's a flag on the play. Probably holding. Holding on the offense, so back him up. 1st and 20 at their own 41-yard line. The XFL USFL, I don't think they're going to merge because they play 2 different time spots. That's the thing. So the two worst teams in the XFL are both coached by ex-NFL cornerbacks. Yeah. Look, you can see the difference in the teams that have coaches versus the teams that just have former players who want to do this. There's a major difference. Really, Anthony Beck is the only one that's had some success, and even he's had some questionable decisions for the Battlehawks all season. Is the Rock getting good investment from this? We'll see in 5 years. Too early to tell. We don't know the financials. Give it to Brian Hill. They get that yardage back and then some, as he's down at the 48-yard line. So an 11-yard gain there by Brian Hill. 2nd and 9. So nice play there by the Battlehawks. It doesn't feel like it, but it is still only a 2-possession game. It's still only 2 possessions. It doesn't feel like it whatsoever with the way Vegas is playing, but it is possible. Zach Wilson's mom's the most infamous thing. I did not hear about the headsets going out today. I did not hear about that. XFL's USL Championship. 18 straight completions. How about that throw? How about that throw to George Campbell down the sideline? How about that throw? I think the Rays have tanked. I don't think they've tanked. I mean, they tank around March Madness, but they're pretty consistent, all things considered, compared to what other leagues we get around this time. I think the networks will be pretty pleased. FX, they get higher ratings for this than your regular programming. I think it doesn't help, though, that they show the games at weird times. You don't know what channel the games are on. You don't know what day the games are on. XFL, the last one, 19 straight completions now. How high can the streak go? Gain of 2 on the play. Catch there by Darius Shepard. Problem is with the XFL, the second iteration, I mean, you knew what time the games were on. They were the same time each week. They were the same network each week. This, they're all over the place. You don't know whether ABC, FX, ESPN, ESPN2, they change by the day, they change by the week. And the times are weird. So I don't know. There's some stuff I definitely do differently with this XFL. There's stuff I definitely do differently. Rock will have to wrestle until he's 90 to make his investment, yeah. Where do I rank Billy Donovan among the greatest college basketball coaches ever? Top 20. Why the starting zone in Newcastle United? Paid a lot of money. That's why. The USFL had better ratings last year, but they were not on at all different hours. Yeah, the USFL was pretty consistent with its time slots. Pretty consistent. XFL's not been. Games are at random times, random days. I'm not crazy about it. I'm not crazy about that. I always thought the best way to do it, because people get burned out. They watch 1 week and then they get burned out. I always thought the best way to do it is to play each game on the same day. You have a national game at 4 o'clock and you have every other game take place at 1 o'clock. Or something like that. Sundays were made for football. So I think you do that. You approach it that way. Where are they on the field? 15-yard line. 15-yard line. They're just an injury timeout, so that's why. If the game's all on at different hours, does not help whatsoever. Why they choose FX? FX needs programming? I guess that's why. Thoughts on the new Mario movie? It hasn't even come out yet. The Mario movie hasn't come out yet. I mean, the trailers look good. I'm more sold on Chris Pratt than I was after the first trailer, but it hasn't come out yet. When it comes out, I'll let you know. I might see it. It's only 90 minutes long. I might see it. It's going to be a smash. I will say that. It's going to be a box office smash. Why are the USFL only playing that one stadium last year? Save money. Which is why I don't get what they're doing this year. They're playing in 4 different stadiums, but they're still doing hubs to some extent. If you had 2 hubs, I guess I get it, but how is this going to cut back on travel costs, having 4 hubs? Because you're not playing in that hub all the time. You're still going to have to travel. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's me, Mario. Second and 8, handoff up the middle. Hill, 10-5, plows his way. Is he going to be in the end zone? Where are they going to mark it? Mark him just short the 1-yard line. Brian Hill, gain of 14 on the play. And look, if you had FAU winning, going to the Final Four, I mean, you should be running around happy. How much longer will the USFL last? I think this is it. I think this is the last year. They want to save money, but I don't know how a 4-hub model is going to do that. If the A's move to Vegas, where will the AAA team go? Let me think about that. So it's a handoff. Hill, he is, I think he got in. No, they're going to mark him short. They're going to mark him short. What's the attendance in Vegas this evening? Probably 7,000. They'll announce in the 4th quarter. AAA team, where to go in Vegas? Where would it go? Look at the Pacific Coast League, where they are right now. Where could he put it? Maybe Tucson? I don't know. I don't know where you put it. Second goal, play action. McCarron fires end zone, incomplete, and that ends the streak intended for Shepard. 19 straight completions. The streak is over. Isn't there a team in Reno already? There's a team in Reno already. They're the AAA affiliate of Diamondbacks. So unless they buy out that team, I could see them buying out that team, then the D-backs affiliate goes to like Tucson or something. I don't know. Reno would make sense, but there was a team in Reno already. 3rd and goal. Handoff to Walker. Touchdown. Bloodbath. 23-0. They take advantage of the interception, capitalize, and get a touchdown. 23-0. 3-possession game. This one looks just about over. This is Oakland would never support them as a AAA team. They never do that. Plus, you have to build a whole new stadium for them, and that's part of the problem why they're going to leave in the first place. You can do this from the 2-yard line and go for 1. Oh man, if this is your first XFL game, my apologies. This is a bad introduction to the league. Monday night's going to be a good one. Monday night will be a very good one. It's a handoff to Walker. He's stuffed. Only gets a yard. He needed 2. So they don't get the conversion, but it's 23-0. St. Louis looking to tie Seattle in the standings for 2nd place in the North. Vegas, their season, if they lose this, is just about over. 3 back with 4 to play. It would be very, very hard to do that. Very, very hard. Put it that way. UConn, we were going to miss the Final Four for the first time since 2007. Has it really been that long since they missed the Final Four? I didn't realize that. I mean, they weren't as good this year. I think they were a bit overseeded. They got by on reputation. I think they should have been a 3 versus a 2. They were a bit overseeded this year. Boca Raton is hopping tonight, yeah. Yeah, Tucson seems like a good choice for a AAA team. Yeah, Parady's coming to, it's coming to women's basketball. It's nice to see. Miami's in the Elite 8. I mean, then again, South Carolina's been dominant. But there are more teams competing in women's college basketball. It is nice to see. It is nice that you have to put thought into your bracket now instead of just putting in all ones. It's really nice to see. I kind of hope we see a merge for the USFL and XFL, maybe like 12 teams or so for a spring league. Have all the games on Sunday except 1 or 2 for other days. I would love that. I would honestly love that. A stable spring league with the top markets in each, I would have no problem with that. 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. This one looks very, very bad. 2 Centaurs, that's a good name. MLB in Albuquerque. Not sure the market's big enough to host 81 games. I'm not sure it's big enough to do that. As Don Miller would say at ABC Sports on Monday night, turn out the lights, the party's over. I'm not even sure if Cashman Field has lights, so I'm not sure I can say that. First down, the 21-yard line. Perez. They're rushing 4. Still feels pressure. Looks like there was holding. Low hit though. Low hit. That might be a flag. They are not going to call it. It was a low hit, but it was outside the pocket. But Perez did get leveled there in the knee, below the knee. The A's played 6 games of Cashman. I might have to do a video on that if I can find footage and whatnot. Second and 10. This has just been emblematic of Vegas this season. Honestly, I think Orlando might be better than Vegas. Orlando has actually played some competitive games lately. Vegas has looked terrible. Second and 10. Handoff. Gain of... All right, good second effort. Gain of 7. That's 7 on the play. Rod Smith. Again, as a reminder, tomorrow we are streaming the game between San Antonio and Arlington at 2:45 Eastern. And the Monday night, 6:45 Eastern, we are streaming that game as well. So keep an eye out on that. Week 7 schedule, I have not announced yet. I don't know what I'm streaming yet. I might not do any Saturday streams, but we'll definitely do Sunday streams. I have to let you guys know on that. That is tentative. Perez gets hit, somehow completes that. His body was all contorted. 13-yard gain. I don't know how he completed that to Jeff Bennett. I think that's his first catch of the day. One of the best receivers in the XFL. Been held in check today. I don't know how he completed this. He was spinning in different directions. It was number 95, Elorm Lumor, on the hit. And Perez somehow gets that one to go. Heck of a throw there by Perez, with his body going in a completely different direction. So first and 10. Rushing 4. Perez feels pressure, has to dump it off short. It's caught. Caught by Cam Sutton. And Sutton gets about 8 or 9 yards. Give him 8. Let's give him 8. It's out the 49-yard line. But you feel pressure on every single play. The offensive line has let Perez down all game. They let the running game down all game as well. Line needs to do a lot better if they're gonna get any sort of help whatsoever. Second and 2. Second and 1, rather. Perez drops back, feels pressure from the blind side, gets it. It's a screen pass. It's caught by Lovett, and Lovett's got some room. Lovett's got some room down at the 32-yard line. So felt the pressure, but it was a screen pass. Gain of 18, 19 yards on the play. They're in St. Louis territory. It's a first down. He took a shot on that play, too. A nice play there. It was actually not Lovett. I don't have a 0 on my depth chart. Unless it was 8. Unless it was 8, what's that? I don't think XFL's had more than 500K for games since like week 2. I think I got 600K for a few. I could be dead wrong. They won't get tonight, I can tell you that much. Back shoulder throw. Incomplete intent for Bryant. Coverage on the play there made by Brendan Sebastian. Yeah, let's see what the ratings are. I mean, they were not good last week because of the tournament. Yeah, XFL since week 2, they averaged 655,000 viewers across that. Week 3, they averaged 572,000. Week 4, they averaged 507,000. I mean, week 5 was terrible, which is not surprising. Second and 10. Perez. Again, feels pressure. Throws off his back foot, and that is incomplete. Once again, intended for Bryant. Not saying Perez is playing great, but he's had nothing to work with in terms of his offensive line. Actually makes October Tuesday nights entertaining. It does. It does. Why did the XFL not bring back the scramble? Because people were getting hurt very badly. And this league is about player safety. And the scramble was terrible. It's a terrible idea. Never should have happened. And people got hurt because of it. It was so bad. Third and 10. 33-yard line. Okay, Perez actually has time to throw now. Fires into double coverage and is picked off for the second time today. Will they make a QB change? I don't know what that camera cut was, but the pick there, Lavert Hill for the second time. Lavert Hill is the king of the hill right now. Back-to-back drives ending in a pick. And will they make the QB change? Intended target on the play was Geronimo Allison, and Lavert Hill says, "Stay, hey Geronimo, this ball is mine." So St. Louis gets the ball back. And at this point, we're just waiting for the merciful end of this game because this is ugly. This is probably the worst game of the season. If I'm being honest, I really thought Vegas might have had a shot to pull the upset with the way McCarron was playing because I was not crazy about him, but dead wrong. Luis Perez has disappointed me a lot. Luis Perez was one of my preseason picks for MVP. He has disappointed me. Yeah, Battlehawks fans have showed up. They've showed up big time today. It's probably why the Cashman Field looks fuller than it usually does. Enjoy the second to last game at Cashman Field because they're not playing again. They're either moving to San Diego or they're moving to Allegiant Stadium. For the efforts of a coach like Rob Woodson, I was expecting a defensive powerhouse. Guess not. Yeah. Well, Woodson has no coaching experience. That's the thing. I don't know why he got a job. We don't care about the coaches. No one is watching these games to see the coaches. So why they hired coaches that have no coaching experience, I have no clue. Has Twitter gotten better or worse since Musk bought it? A million times worse. A million times worse. I'm seeing way more junk in my feed than I was before. And all the changes he made have been bad. Now that we're removing verification. So, see a bunch of troll accounts coming up. The bots have gotten worse. No, Twitter's been terrible since Musk bought it. Absolutely terrible. Only 6K attendance for this game. That's 7K in Orlando for the game earlier. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. You have two terrible teams. So none of this surprises me. Orlando's not a good team. Vegas is not a good team. Markets that I was never confident on being good whatsoever. Just terrible. Just absolutely terrible. They're still going Frozen 4. All right. Yeah, they got because of their name and expertise in the NFL, but that doesn't make you a good head coach. That doesn't make you a good head coach. And no one's tuning into the XFL because Rod Woodson's a head coach. Tune in for the players. You don't tune in for the coaches. You want to get coaches that actually know what they're doing. How about I say Athletic odds since the New York Times bought it? I mean, it's not as good as it once was. They cut a lot of journalists. Yeah, they make good choices, but most of them, like Hazlitt, Phillips, Stoops, I mean, they have experience. That's the thing. First and 10th, the 19-yard line. That's a low throw by McCarron. Intended there for Prohl, so second and 10th, the 19. I mean, Anthony Becht is the only one of the 5 guys with no experience that looks all right. But then again, 4 teams make the playoffs regardless. So, I don't get the point. And Twitter's been going down a lot lately, too, compared to what it usually does. McCarron, can he get out of the sack? He cannot. He cannot get out of the sack. So third down. Tackle there made by Pita, number 0. Okay, here's an XFL coach. Can't be worse than Terrell Buckley. Can't be worse than Buckley. I'll put it that way. Cannot be any worse. 4:08 left. I mean, this is looking terrible. I'm not doing a Caillou voice. I'm not doing a Caillou voice. I bust my vocal cords. 3rd and 10. McCarron, they're only rushing 3. Senses pressure, rolls out. He's going to take off with his legs to the 23-yard line, so 3 and out. So finally, Vegas gets a defensive stand. The Hines were no experience, yeah. Hines were no experience. And you see how bad San Antonio is and how inept they look. $1.3 million people have attended MLS match so far. That's amazing. I mean, they've drawn good crowds everywhere for the most part. I mean, Charlotte drew $70K for their opener. Atlanta's drawn well. And they figured out the attendance issue for a lot of these leagues. Big hit on the play. Got to call fair catch there. Giant hit there by Gary Jennings Jr., making Vegas feel every bit of that. Every bit of that. Matthew Sexton feels the heat. Yeah, Kurt Benker is going to get the starting job in San Antonio. He's not starting this week. He's not playing this week. But he is going to play next week, according to Tom Grossi. We have a QB change. Perez after back-to-back picks. Brett Hundley is now in at QB. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Hands it off. Gain of about 5. So Brett Hundley, the new QB, just love it on that handoff. Why the Jets hire Gase? Because they're stupid. That's why. I guess they thought, hey, work with Peyton Manning. He can work with Sam Darnold. Not realizing that Peyton Manning is Peyton Manning. Yeah, St. Louis, undefeated, 4-0. Good for them. Good for them. Most random March Madness champion. I wouldn't say most random, but Jacksonville made the final one year, and that still baffles me to this day because I've been to Jacksonville's campus, and I'm wondering how the heck do they make it to a final? I don't know how. I do not know how. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. False start, moving back 5. Again, Brett Hundley is the new QB for the Vipers. Luis Perez benched after 2 interceptions on back-to-back drives. His final numbers, for those wondering, 13 for 20, 99 yards passing, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And let's put that into the passer rating formula. Let's see what we got. So Luis Perez finishes the game with a passer rating of 37.3. You know what that is, folks. 37.3. 1st and 15, handoff goes nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Why is Final Four championship on a Monday night? I'm not crazy about that. Same thing with college football. I guess Monday night they draw better than weekends, but no one likes watching games on Monday night for college sports. No one likes that. College people have classes on Monday nights too, so I'm not sure why it's that way. That pass is way low, intended for Love, an incomplete pass, 3rd and 15. Will Jordan Love be the next Aaron Rodgers? I mean, I think so in the sense that he'll be the next Packers quarterback. And Rodgers played for the Packers. He was a first-round pick. In terms of playing ability, no. No, absolutely not. Say the line part. Yeah, so passer rating for Perez was 37.2 today, which is worse than if he did nothing but spike the ball into the ground on every single play. I didn't do it also works too. To avoid Easter, we'll play the game on Saturday night. That is caught down at the 39-yard line. Gain of 10. 4th and 5. You have to figure it down by 3 possessions. You have to go for it here. It's 4th and 5. 39-yard line. You got to leave the offense out there. This is probably the ball game, folks. 4th and 5. 15 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. before this game mercifully hits 15 minutes left in total. Will they get the playoff? They're taking their sweet time. 3 seconds to get it off. Hundley. He's got room to run. He's going to pick up the first down with his legs. Actually, that was a lot closer than I thought it was at first, but he does get the first down. Tackle there on the play, made by Mike Rose. But it is a first down for the Vipers. So 1st and 10 to 34 when we get back. UConn Gonzaga also just tipped off on TBS. 4-2 UConn, 16:39 left in the first half. Thoughts on Cletus and Brandon from the Simpsons? I don't really have any strong thoughts on them. Final Four is on Saturday. What other day can you play the championship? You can play the Final Four on Thursday. The Final Four Thursday. I was going to ask what I missed in the 40 minutes, but I saw the store and instead left a snarky comment. You missed nothing. This game's been the worst XFL game of the season. Sometimes you get great ones, sometimes you get duds. The one earlier today was pretty good. The Vipers will win. How much do you want to bet? How much do you want to bet? I mean, look, Hackett's on the Jets now, so the strategy kind of worked. When they get Rodgers, the strategy kind of worked. Pulisic to Real Madrid after the USA Granada game. I don't think the Granada game makes any difference. I don't think it makes any difference as to where he's going to go. Yeah, Texas Western, most random champion, but the other most historic, obviously. I'd say Texas Western probably the most random champion. Most random finalist is Jacksonville. I'd say Jacksonville's easily the most random finalist. Nathaniel Hackett, I'm the worst head coach. Jeff Saturday, no, I'm the worst. Terrell Buckley, hold my beer, watch this. They call play action on 4th and 10. Call play action on 4th and 10. With 8 seconds left and no timeouts. They really thought someone was going to bite on that. So just taking a business thing right now. Hang on. Apologies for this. Biggest winner of the offseason. I think the Lions got significantly better this offseason. They bolstered their defense tremendously. Made a lot of nice moves. I think the Lions are the biggest winner. Favorite champion? I mean, I have to go with the second Gators team. I have to go with that team. 06-07 Gators were so much fun to watch. It's really when I got into college basketball. They were so much fun to watch. Yeah, biggest winner, obviously, if the Jets, if they get Rodgers, they're the biggest winner, depending on what they give up. But I think the Lions have done phenomenal. Biggest loser, the Titans. I think the Titans, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing out in Tennessee. They didn't need to rebuild. They didn't need to blow it up and rebuild. This was a team that was 7-3 last year before everyone just died. This was a team that 2 years ago was a Tannehill interception away from making the AFC Championship. They were fine. I don't know what they needed to blow up. I really don't know what they needed to blow up. There's no one left, especially if they trade Henry, like they're talking about. The Titans are a corpse of themselves. They're a corpse right now. I don't know what they're doing. I get when you need to blow it up. They didn't need to blow it up. They did not need to blow it up. Hundley feels pressure, fires. It is caught. Heavy hit there. Lovett still makes the grab, but what a hit to prevent anything after that by Elijah Hamilton. There's a flag on the play. Will Zeke go to the Bengals, Jets, or Eagles? I don't think it's going to the Eagles. I think he's going to wait. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm happy they're blowing it up. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy they're blowing it up. But they didn't need to blow it up. They didn't need to blow it up. Which is why I'm laughing so hard. They did not need to blow it up. And now they asked Byers to take a pay cut. That's one of the few good things to take a pay cut. Like, come on. So Byard's unhappy. He wants out. Derrick Henry's going to get traded probably. They didn't need to blow it up. They were totally fine. They were going to make the playoffs every year. They were going to compete with the Jags in that division. Mike Vrabel's a heck of a coach. He's got nothing to work with right now. I'm happy they blew it up. Just makes it that much easier for the Jags. First and 20 at the 44. Catch made by Geronimo Allison. Gain of 7. Second and 13. Rip Titans, I don't feel bad. No, neither do I. Look, the last half decade, they've been very good. They didn't need to blow it up. But I'm happy they did. Who will be the Bucs starter? Mayfield or Trask? I think it's going to be Trask. Does Brett Favre have a hard chance of winning a lawsuit and Vegas coming back to win this game? I mean, Vegas technically has a 0.1% chance of coming back. Favre has a 0% chance unless the lawyer just doesn't show up. Huntley going deep and overthrown. Allison had a step on him. Overthrown, 3rd and 13. The South Carolina Final Four run was bizarre. I think Zeke is going to wait out. He's going to wait until training camp before signing. I think if the Titans trade Henry, he'll go there. Will Vrabel step down? I don't think he's going to step down, but I could see him getting fired, and Carthen and Ray Carthen just hiring his own guy, which would be a mistake. Again, Vrabel's a heck of a head coach. I hate him because I respect him so much. I hate Vrabel because I respect him so much. Vipers have to burn a timeout. They only have 1 left. What does it feel like to be on the opposite side of watching a division rival ruin themselves? Oh, it feels good. I'm not going to lie. It feels amazing. Like, I look at what we did. We did nothing in the offseason. We did nothing. We've signed Dearness Johnson, who I like. I really like that pickup. I thought he was buried in Cleveland's backfield. He's going to be a very good number 2 running back for us. Other than that, we signed Dogby also, who will be a good rotational piece. But we did nothing this offseason. We did nothing. And I look at what the Texans and the Colts and the Titans did. I'm not even trying to be cocky because I've never felt this way before. I don't know who's catching us. Unless Trevor gets hurt, I don't know who can compete with the Jags in that division. I don't know. Over the course of a 17-game season, I don't know. I've never said that before. My life. I've never said that before. I would have said the Titans because you give them even a below-average roster. Vrabel makes the most out of it. I mean, the whole Titans team was hurt when they played us Week 18, and they played very well. They were probably the better side that day. They played very, very well. Very well. Vrabel is a heck of a coach. And they just decided to give him nothing to work with. It is bizarre. It is bizarre. That's a good comparison. Why does EA Sports suck? No competition. That's probably why. They have monopoly on soccer game because no one plays PES. They have monopoly on football because Madden's the only one. They have exclusive rights there. So that's why. Thank you, Titans, for AJ Brown. Yeah, I was laughing when they traded Brown. I'm like, what are you doing? They're going to get Treylon Burks instead? So you trade Brown, who was not asking for a lot of money. You traded wide receiver 1, a young wide receiver 1, for a guy that you think could be a wide receiver 1? Like, I'm not crazy about that. I was happy. I was happy when he left. How do the Packers do without Rodgers? I don't think they're going to do that well. I'm not crazy about Jordan Love, so I don't think they're going to do that well. Packers won't be great. NFC North where Vikings will. I think it's going to be the Lions. XFL making any money these days? We'll see. We don't know the financial details. So 3rd and 12 of the 36. Where does Wentz sign? Pressure, batted down at the line. 4th and 12. You have to figure they're going to go for it or kick the field goal. It'd be a long field goal, 54 yards out. I think you got to go for it. Batted down by Travis Feeney. Who else? Pick your MVP for the game. Either Feeney or Lavert Hill. I mean, Feeney's been phenomenal. All game, just wreaking havoc on that defensive line. Where do I think Wentz signs? Because he wants to be a starter. So I don't know where he could go where he would be a starter. Maybe Arizona, depending on the severity of Kyler Murray's injury. Going past the sticks and batted down. What a bat down. He swatted that into the stands. Oh my goodness. What a bat down there. Elijah Hamilton with the bat down. Intended for Allison, and Hamilton swats it all the way away. Wow. 1st and 10 now for the Battlehawks at their own 35. You have to wonder, is this probably McCarron's last drive? After this, you probably put in the backups. You don't risk anything. The way McCarron's playing, and with the score of this game, I'm not risking anything whatsoever. Hopefully the XFL is more financially successful than the AF. Can't be that hard. Can't be that hard to do. Considering we're still here and talking about the XFL, and we're not canceling streams and showing it, it can't not be hard to be more financially stable than the AF. They need a new financing after week 1. Even though the Jags will definitely win the division, they will probably lose to their divisional opponents. Oh, I'm not saying that. They'll definitely lose to a divisional opponent. They're not going 6-0. They're not going 6-0. Over the course of a season, I don't know who is stopping them. But they'll lose to someone. Curl route, catch is made by Butler. Nice to see him back in there after he got shaken up on the helmet-to-helmet play earlier. Gain of 9. Gain picks up a first down. People who subscribe to MLS Season Pass on Apple TV, I'm not sure. We don't have the numbers on that, and Apple will never release those unless they're any good. Have I ever thought about doing dumb decisions about awful trades? Maybe. I might break down some trades going forward. I don't know. Wentz to the USFL. Yeah, I doubt it. Carson Wentz to the Vipers. The fact they're sitting on folding chairs is funny. Yeah, I mean, that's Cashman Field for you. That's Cashman Field. So handoff goes to Hill and down at the 46-yard line. Saying the ball came out? They're saying Vegas is saying the ball came out. They don't have a challenge. They wasted the challenge. Did that ball come out? The referee is ruling him down. Landino's going to take a look at this. As it stands, 2nd and 5 for the Battlehawks at the 46-yard line. Landino taking a look upstairs. Did that ball come out? Can't tell from that. Looks like when Hill's knee is down, the ball was still in his arms. So we do have a stoppage. Is Vegas going to call a timeout? Vegas might call a timeout to let Landino take a closer look at this. Clock is stopped, 10:49 left. Lowest QB rate ever, 0.0. People have gotten zeros before. I think Kim McQuilkin's done it quite a few times. Geno Smith did it too. Have any players been carried to the Hall of Fame in any sport due to a playoff run? I don't think Charles Haley gets in if it's not for how many Super Bowls and playoff success he had. If that's what I mean by that. Terrell Davis, only reason he's in is because of his playoff success. You're in Tokyo? You're watching this in Tokyo? Oh my goodness. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, that ball is still in his hands. Thank you. So, what's it, 10:18 there? 10:18 in the morning? We have an XFL fan in Tokyo. That is awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. That blows my mind. Anytime we have international people internationally watching these streams or participating, that is awesome. Thank you so much. Watching the XFL in Tokyo. McCarron firing deep. Shepard wide open and he dropped it. Oh, Shepard. Oh, Shepard dropped it right in his hands. Oh, had the step, would have been close to a touchdown, and Shepard just loses concentration. It would have been about a 30-yard gain. Oh, man. Oh, man, that one hurts. That one hurts. Shepard having a very good game so far. 55 yards and a touchdown. That hurts. McCarron, 3rd and 5. Fires curl route. Caught. Short of the sticks, though. Short of the sticks. We'll see. I think you leave the offense out there. That one hauled in by Austin Prohl. Viper should stay in Tampa. I mean, they weren't drawing great in Tampa. Oh, it's not the third. My apologies. I forgot to update that. It's 4th quarter. 9:34 left. Thank God it's the 4th quarter. I mean, they weren't drawing great in Tampa. They just shouldn't have moved to Vegas. They should have moved to San Diego or somewhere like that. Play a Snapdragon. 5 seconds on the play clock. Going to let it run. Are they going to call a play? 1 second, and they get it off right as it hits 0. Do they? Or everyone kind of going in half speed there. Vegas does get the sack. And yeah, they got the snap off in time. Vegas gets the snap. Gets the sack, rather. uncontested, blown up on the play. If that was 28 CJ Avery, if it's 26, I don't have the 26 in my depth. Oh no, Maurice Smith. Maurice Smith coming in from the secondary to make the play. Yeah, now you sit in the counter. You don't take any chances. Assuming Vegas does not score here. If Vegas does not score here, you sit in the counter. You do not chance it. First and 10, the 49-yard line. Hundley fires. It is caught. Caught by Sean Price. Down at around the 45-yard line of St. Louis. So we gain a 6 on the play. Down by 3 scores. You got to go fast. You got to go fast. Your Jack Morris 1-4. World Series rings. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. 2nd and 3, rather. Both the 44-yard line. I knew what the gridiron league they had in Japan. Japan actually supports football pretty well. Hundley, wide open, first down. Little comeback route. Jeff Badette. Pretty quiet all game. Did Hundley win the starting job back? I think after this performance of Perez, he might have. $10:20 a.m. Wow. Is the Angels jersey deal with Fanatics the worst uniform deal ever in pro sports? It's pretty bad. I was shocked they did it. I don't know why they did it. I was shocked they did. Screen pass, spin move. Nice play to get the first down and a bit more yardage. At the 20, another spin move and gets down to the 17-yard line. Nice play there by Smith. Rod Smith out of the backfield. He had about 22. He had about 20, rather, on the play. Good for a first down. Hats off to Team Japan for the WSL Classic. Same here. You got to love the way they played. It's a heck of a tournament. So much fun to watch. And they fully earned that. Fully earned that. No complaints there. First and 10, the 17-yard line. Hundley steps up, fires, end zone. Incomplete miscommunication there. Intended for Martavis Bryant, it looked like. Although it's tough to tell. That was in between two guys. As a biased Twins fan, Jack Morris's Game 7 is one of the greatest runs in baseball history. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. The Samurai Japan fan squad was in Miami for the WBC Classic. Yeah, I mean, the atmosphere just seemed insane. You could hear it on TV. NFL game in Japan, I mean, we had the American Bowl before. I could see it. 10-5, and he's in the end zone. Vegas finally gets on the board. Finally gets on the board. John Lovett. He's got to love that one. It's been a rough game for Vegas, but 23-6, 2-possession game now. Yeah, I think eventually we'll see a regular season game in Japan. I think so. $23-6. We'll see what they decide to do here. It's a 2-possession game right now. Nice play by Lovett. 18-yard completion. We're going to go for 2 from the 5. $17-point game. Trying to make it a 15-point game. Empty backfield. 5 wide. Hundley steps up. Feels pressure. Fires. Slant route. It is dropped. It would have been short anyway. It's been that kind of day for the Vipers. Geronimo Allison, the intended target. They've been trying to get to Allison a lot. Have not been able to do so. And they can try the 4th and 15 play. They can try 4th and 15. There's about 7 minutes left in this one. They got to make up some possessions and time somehow. Nobody has played games in Japan before. They played games in Japan before. What I never got was when they played games in Japan or Australia, and then they played spring training games again. I never got that. Like, you're playing preseason games, or spring training games, and then you're playing regular season. Then you play more spring training. I never got that. Have I ever left North America? Yes, I've been to Europe a few times. I went to Europe on a cruise in 2009 and 2011. I went to London in 2013. That was the last time I've left North America. It's been a while. I would love to go back, though. I would love to go back. Was another Japanese-born player in the NFL? I believe so. I believe so. Yeah, China got dominated in the World Baseball Classic. Wasn't too surprising. Korea needs to blow up some steam and to be from 22-2. I mean, to be fair, when run differential and when runs allowed per 9 innings is a thing, You got to beat up on your opponent. In baseball, you can't really run up the score in baseball because there's no clock. You can't really run up the score. So Vipers down by 17. Yeah, Paul O'Neill, 5 World Series rings, still not in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. In terms of what's coming up on JG9, we have a new video coming out tomorrow. Working on some other stuff for JG8 and JG7, although we won't see anything tomorrow on either of those channels. Maybe JG8. We might see a JG8 something, but probably not. Should I spring with 35-yard penalty shootouts? No. No, absolutely. Although, I wouldn't mind those for actual PK shootouts, but for regular season, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, London 2013. Yeah, it was for Jaguars Niners. Yeah. I went to that game. It's 28-0 after 4 possessions. Good times. Good times. All right, 23-6. And again, video on JG9 tomorrow. Maybe JG8 as well. We'll see. JG7, there'll be something coming up soon. Angels-related content. And we have a Royals-related video coming out. My editor is working on that as we speak. So some exciting stuff taking place on the channel. As we have over 3,000 subs now on the baseball channel, which is awesome. You guys have gravitated toward that right away. I'm really, really happy about that. I love doing the baseball videos. Love finding some stuff, and there's some good stories in the works. Got a White Sox video coming up in the next week and a half as well. We've got, what else is happening on JG7? So something Angels related, Royals related, White Sox related. I'm not sure what else just yet. We got some stuff. They are going to kick off here, so they're not going to go for on 4th and 15. Kickoff is fielded at the, it actually bounces his way to the 9-yard line, but it can't bounce. It cannot bounce on the way. It didn't reach the zone, so mark it at the 45-yard line. A terrible kickoff there. Penalty is going to be for an illegal kickoff. So St. Louis is going to get this ball at the 45-yard line of Vegas for a kickoff infraction. My brother needs to watch your baseball channel and do Blue Jays related stuff. I would love to do Blue Jays related stuff. If I can find something, absolutely. Absolutely. I want to do videos on a ton of teams. A ton of teams, obviously. If I can find some good Blue Jays stuff, I'll do it. Don't let this game distract you from the fact that the Angels have arguably the 2 best players in baseball can't even make the playoffs. That is true. Will the Saudis or Qataris become owners of an NFL team? I don't think so. I don't think so. It needs to be approved by 75% of the owners, and I don't think they would. $2 from Weather Chart. Thank you so much. Game attendance, 6,033. I did say about 6,000. 48.3% capacity. Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible. Gain of 3 on the run by Hill down to the 42-yard line. Yeah, Vegas is not coming back next year. They got 1 game left after this at home, final 3 on the road, and then RIP to Cashman Field because they're not coming back. Why are India and China so bad at soccer? Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not entirely sure. With their giant populations, you would think they could field 11 on the soccer team, but probably just an infrastructure thing. It's Titans over Ravens in 2019, the second biggest AFC divisional round upset ever. Let me think. Second sim, back shoulder throw, incomplete pass. So it's a flag on the play. Intended target, Butler. All right, so obviously number 1 is Jaguars over Broncos. That's obviously number 1. No. Then Jets Patriots. No, Titans Ravens is not second biggest. Offside on the play. So move them up 5 to the 37-yard line. No, number 1 is obviously Jags Broncos. Number 2, not Titans Ravens. I don't think Titans Ravens. It's Jets Patriots. I think that was a bigger upset than Titans Ravens. That was a big upset, don't get me wrong, but maybe it was just the part of me that was like Derrick Henry in January trying to tackle him. It's like trying to tackle a semi-truck. I could see it happening. The Titans pull this off. Jets Patriots was bigger. Most northern town I've been to in New York. I mean, I've been to Niagara Falls. I've been to Syracuse many times. So I'd probably say that. Handoff gets 1. Goes to Hill. As a grown pro athlete, how insecure must one be to be jealous over pierogi mascots? I don't know, but when I found that story, I was laughing like crazy. I'm like, how does Brian Giles think this works? How does he think this works? Because that's just nuts. What's worse, if the XFL games are having attendance worse than a typical NBA game, or they're being held in stadiums of less than 20,000? I'd rather have that, where it looks semi-full, than have it take place in stadiums where they hold 70,000. It looks terrible. 3rd and 1, McCarron firing deep. It is caught. Taking a deep shot on 3rd and 1. You figure they were going to go for it on 4th down. Then again, that time Shepard does make the grab. Had a bad drop on the last drive. That time does make the grab to the 18-yard line and a first down. With about 5 minutes left, a field goal makes it a 3-possession game, and that should be all she wrote. Although we kind of knew that from about the end of at the start of the second quarter, we kind of had a feeling. Shepard, 6 catches, 73 yards and a touchdown. Been all over the place today. Yeah, Giants, no, that's NFC. We're just talking AFC. Giants, Packers, Vikings, Niners, that was NFC. That was NFC. He was just asking AFC. So that's why. Handoff Hill to 15, 10, 5, and he'll go out of bounds at around the 5-yard line. Tackle on the play there made by Antonio Phillips. He had a 13, 1st and goal. This is a bloodbath. Yeah, I said Jets Patriots 2010. Yeah, I said that was number 2. I said that was number 2 over Titans Ravens. I said Jets Patriots. I said that. Why did Brandon Cooks leave the Saints? Because a 1st-round pick for a guy like Cooks, you got to take it. First time I visited Pittsburgh, the first thing I did was eat a lot of pierogies. I've never been to Pittsburgh. Well, I went to their airport because I went to their airport flying out from the Hall of Fame, but I've never actually stepped foot in actual Pittsburgh. 1st and 10 to 6-yard line. They give it to Hill. Hill gets back to the line of scrimmage, but not much else. Again, tomorrow, I think he was down. I think he was down. I don't think that is... He's running into the end zone. That is not at all a touchdown. That is not all. He was down. He was way down before. It was way down before. Oilers, Chargers, 79. That's a good pick. Was it bigger than Jets, Patriots? I'm not sure. The top 3. I have it over Titans, Ravens. It's a good pick for number 3. And we will have an XFL stream tomorrow. We did 6 hours of coverage today. We'll do 3 hours tomorrow with the game between the Renegades and the Brahmas. And Monday night is the big one. The 4-1 Roughnecks. The 5-0 Defenders. Why the original XFL failed? How much time you got? How much time you got on that one? There's a whole 30 for 30 on why it failed. McCarron scrambling, just throwing it into the end zone, and there's a man there and he caught it. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! It is Shepard. It is Shepard once again. He's been a man on a mission today. McCarron with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game, and that's probably the last throw he'll have all day. What a game. A convincing victory for the Battlehawks as they go to 4-2. Might as well just update the records now. What's the point? They're not coming back. Does it feel odd seeing that the Arlington Stadium used to be the Rangers' old stadium? No, I think the configuration actually kind of works. It actually kind of works. I think there was a man in the back there, but Shepard was wide open. 2nd touchdown catch of the day. 7 catches, 79 yards, and he dropped a pass earlier. Could have had 3 touchdowns maybe. They're going for 1. Figure they're just going to hand this ball off. McCarron will get out of there after this play. Hands it off up the middle to Hill. Hill gets stuffed at the line. Tackle there made on the play by Max Roberts, number 23. But an absolute bloodbath. 29-6. Sin City, St. Louis. The Battlehawks go to 4-2. The Sea Dragons put the pressure on them with their win over Orlando. St. Louis had to win to keep alive for 2nd place. And they're in a good spot. They're in a good spot. Renegades, if they win, they're in. If they win, they'll be 3 up with 4 to play. They're pretty much in. And Roughnecks, if they win, they're pretty much in. Can we say any prayers for the Vipers? I hope they do well in San Diego next year. Is Seahawks Dolphins 83 top 5? Yeah, I'd probably put that at I might put that over Oilers Chargers, honestly. I might do that. I might put Dolphins Seahawks at 3. Oilers Chargers at 4. So Titans Raiders at the top 5, I'm not sure. That kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback, so Vegas gets its ball at the 35-yard line. I said earlier today I've never seen a touchback in the XFL on a kickoff, but we just saw it in the Seattle game, and we saw it here. So Laney does strike twice. Yeah, OG XFL had terrible football. Terrible football. The quality for certain teams is actually pretty good. There have been some fun games. This obviously is not one of them. This game has been a train wreck on so many levels. Oh, and if you were in the stream and you just joined my Patreon, thank you so much. Rob V, thank you so much for joining the Patreon. Really means a lot to me. Again, patrons get early access to videos, the ability to request future video topics. You get your name at the end of the credits, depending on the tier that you're in. A lot of benefits. So thank you to Rob V if you were in the stream for joining my Patreon. Just got the notification. I think that's 50 patrons now, which is insane to think about. 50 people are giving me money on a weekly basis. That is insane. Our ball's at the 15-yard line, so I guess the ball bounced into the end zone, so because of that, it's at the 15 instead. I didn't see it bounce into the end zone. Either way, catch there on the play, made by Sweeting. Yeah, Colts Chiefs 95 is in there. Yeah, I'm putting all those over Titans Ravens. I really don't watch hockey ever since I went to high school. Hockey camp might have stopped me since I was not finding it sport fun at all. Yeah, that stinks. That stinks. In the moment, it's not fun to watch or fun to play. That's when it gets tough. First and 10 to 33-yard line. Ravens San Jose 1 was big. I'm not sure if it was one of the biggest, but it was big. Hunley. Incomplete pass. The original XFL was basically a giant gimmick. Was a giant gimmick. 2:26 left. Mercifully, this game is coming to an end. Oh, man, this has been brutal. This has been absolutely brutal. On TBS, UConn Gonzaga 28-25 in that one. What team do upstate New York sports fans root for? I mean, Bills, a lot of them are Yankees, NBA, NHL. I mean, NHL Sabres, but NBA, I'm not sure what they root for. They get the snap off right before this moment. Warren Hunley feels the pressure and just gets taken down on the play. So that kind of day. It is Alorm Lumor having a great game. Third and about 16 after the 2-minute warning. And Vegas will drop to 1-5. Their season pretty much done. Their season just about dead in the water. In that North Division, St. Louis 4-2, Seattle 4-2, Houston 5-4-1 as things stand. It's going to get very, very interesting. But Vegas will not be a part of that. Am I going to stream the basketball game? Probably not. Probably not. I don't know what downstate Illinois sports fans root for because I've never been there. So to any American mention Buffalo, New York, the first thing they say is the Bills. Yeah, probably. Or Wings. They'll probably say Wings or the Bills. Yeah, I won't stream the basketball game. I won't do that. I have to work on some videos after this. I have to get some content out for JG9 and for JG8 and JG7. I got to do a lot of stuff. Because I couldn't do that before, in between the two games, because I was working on a secret project for someone else. I should stream Phoenix Suns playoff games. I don't know. Because it's basketball, and I don't really have it wouldn't really fit the channel. If I had a basketball channel, I might do it, but it doesn't really fit the channel vibe at all. I want the streams to relate to football. Baseball, if I do that, I'd be streaming on JG7. So that's the thing with that. But there's no real reason for me to stream Suns games. It doesn't really appeal to the main point of the channel. About 2 minutes left. This one just needs to end. I need to eat. This game needs to end. This has been terrible. Absolutely terrible. Let's do baseball streams. Yeah, I have to figure out what games I'm going to stream and how the schedule is going to go. But I would love to stream baseball games. I would love to stream some nationally televised baseball games. I would love to do that. I would absolutely love to. But we'll see. I have to figure out the schedule with like my personal life and with the XFL and everything. But yeah, I would love to. Screen Pass down at the 39-yard line. It's Jeff Badette. Getting about 12 on the play. So make it 4th and 4. Stream D-backs games? Well, I'm going to go to about 81 of them, or most of them at least, so I can't really stream inside the stadium. On the road, the problem is that like games like this, you can turn on and everyone can watch. You can watch on FX wherever you are in the country. You can watch on ESPN, ESPN2. D-backs you can't really watch unless you're in Arizona because it's regional. So I don't really want to do regionally based streams. Nice back shoulder throw there, catch on the play, made by Cam Sutton, keeps the drive alive. Vegas not go down without a fight. Yeah, ESPN Sunday night games I would do. The thing is that XFL will play Sundays, so I have to figure out how to work that out. But I would stream the ESPN national games. I would do that. I can't stream inside the same. With what Wi-Fi? Plus, why would I want to stream inside? Streaming inside the same would be terrible. It would be annoying to the fans around me. It'd be absolutely terrible for the fans around me. I'm just talking about random stuff the whole time to my phone. My phone battery would die. You can't watch the games because unless you're in Arizona or whoever they're playing, you have to have MLB Pass or find a stream somewhere. It would not work. It would not work. Oh yeah, we'll do baseball streams. We'll definitely do baseball streams. Don't get me wrong. We'll definitely do baseball streams. Yeah, D-backs have. I know they have a game against the Red Sox on Fox, like the big Fox. But I don't know what else. Yeah, D-backs. Look, if they can start the season off 500, there's 1 minute left. 1 minute too much. Because D-backs schedule to start off is brutal, absolutely brutal to start off. I'm not looking forward to that at all. It's just terrible. Their schedule is start off 4 against the Dodgers, 2 against the Padres, 4 more against the Dodgers. I mean, that's awful. That's awful. They got the Cardinals also, but I'm a Cardinals fan too, so 3 against the Cards, 4 against the Padres this month. I mean, this is brutal. Just brutal. So, if they can be 500 after April, watch out, because that is a terrible schedule. Caillou live stream. I do all the Caillou live streams. Second down, incomplete pass. That was a forward pass. That's not a fumble. Oddly enough, the guy who picked it up was Lavert Hill. Now we have a clock issue. The clock ran another 7 seconds. I don't know why. Is Caillou the worst cartoon ever? I mean, it's bad. I think for what its intended purpose was, it's the worst ever. Because the purpose of Caillou was to teach kids good lessons, and it teaches kids the exact opposite. It teaches kids how to whine and cry and be spoiled. Like, in terms of what its goal was, it failed so hard. It's a shame ESPN isn't covering open day during the afternoon like they did once more. Yeah, I don't like that. I love when they did all-day coverage in the afternoon. I love that. It's not the same anymore. It's not the same. 3rd and 10, Hundley. There's pressure. Steps up. Nice play. Step up. Fires. It is tipped. It is tipped. Intended for Allison. Is tipped by Nate Meters. So 4th and 10. Nice play to tip that. Animation domination live. What would I even do during that? Like, what would I do during a live stream? I would just be talking about the joke you just saw and breaking it down, and then how would that even work? I don't even know how that would work. I go animate Caillou. All right, I'll take a look. All right, 4th and 10. Vegas has no timeout, so this is the ball game. Hundley feels pressure. He goes down. What other way could you possibly end this game? Carson Wells with the sack. And Vegas, terrible. St. Louis, dominant. What a terrible, terrible, terrible game. Oh man, St. Louis dominates. They win it 29-6. Just gonna take a knee. Anthony Bechtel smiles on the sideline. There's no reason not to be. A great performance. St. Louis goes to 4-2. They keep pace with Seattle for that second spot. And who knows, if Houston loses to DC, the number 1 team, we will have a 3-way tie atop the North. Or, excuse me. Wow, I am completely blanking. If DC loses, then the 3 teams are getting separated by 1 with 4 to play. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Final score. We have one more knee down. One more kneel. 29-6. St. Louis gets back in the win column. Vegas drops to 1-5, and their season pretty much over. With that being said, I'm going to get something to eat. I'm going to get some work done on the videos. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you tuned in for all 6 hours of live streams today, thank you so much. Really, really means a lot to me. But with that being said, this is Jarrett9 signing off. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. And I will see you guys tomorrow. We will stream the San Antonio game. San Antonio, Arlington, they played last Sunday. Arlington won that one. San Antonio needs this one to keep their season alive. So we'll see what happens there. 2:45 as well go live for that one. And again, Monday night is the big one. DC, Houston, 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Tune in for that one. Other than that, thank you guys for tuning in. Join me tomorrow for the live stream and join me for whenever the JG9 video drops.